everyone, and welcome back to our stream of a Monster of the Week game that came out of my brain and is being manipulated and changed by these wonderful people. Uh,
Hmm.
the story of Camp Meadowview. My name is Lex. My pronouns are they and she, and I am your keeper, your supervising storyteller, what have you, for this wonderful adventure. And I am joined by five magnificent people, players, friends, humans across the board. We're gonna go in a random order just to keep you guys on your toes. Rosie, you're first.
It's me. I'm the most magnificent one because I'm on Magnificence. Sorry, had to. I had to. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Rosie. She, her pronouns. I am a cast member on Magnificent, which is a podcast from Tabletop Tale Spinners Network, and I'm playing Chloe Johnson. She is still literally just a girl. Still.
Ross.
Hi, that's me. Hello, I'm Ross. I'm the game master, co-producer, co-host at Blades of Mayari. We are a Filipino-Canadian-led fantasy actual play podcast inspired by pre-colonial Filipino mythology. You can catch us at Blades of Mayari on the socials. And we're actually just connected YouTube. So if that's easier for you to listen, check out our YouTube there, our podcast there.
Melody.
Hi, I'm Melody. Melody has cats on socials. I am the occasional cast member for Game Master Monday and the event coordinator for Game Master Monday. We are having an event on Sunday. It's all day. Come as you want. Come for part of it or all of it or whatever. We're watching a really funny movie at the end, playing games all day, and it'll be fun.
Taylor.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I be playing Imani, she heard in here, and I'm also just a girl. Playing no girl over here. Chilling girl.
Sure. Yeah, that's the vibe. And last but not least, Juicy.
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd, part of the leadership at Tabletop Tale Spinners on the cast of All Our Faults, which is produced by Tabletop Tale Spinners. If you like angry sad boy vampires, you'll love me. Also, I am wearing my new Camp Meadowview t-shirt that I made, had made.
Woo!
Very excited about that. It says I'm a camp counselor on the back. And I am also crit nominated. Vote for me. Also vote for Ross, because Ross is also crit nominated. Anyone else here crit nominated? I can't remember.
Grant and Jenny.
Grant and
Jenny, that's right. Game Master Monday. Vote for
Our
them
beautiful
too.
hosts who are not here right now, but we love them anyway.
1,000,000%. Yeah. Yes. And I am playing Howie, our little conspiracy nut. My pronouns are whatever the hell. They're your problem. Figure it out. They change. Howie, he, him.
Love it. I'm going to apologize in advance. There is a bit of a thunderstorm starting just outside of my window, so just to add to the ambiance, there may be some good slaps and booms going on over here. It's not on purpose, but let's get into it. So last week we saw the group here get to know the camp a bit better. Ross RJ established himself in the kitchen, figured out that the guy who runs it, Silas, is basically useless on so many fronts, apart from maintenance. That's a very loose word. They all shared their own conspiracy theories about Debbie, aka Dark Debbie, or whatever they'd like to call her, and then made their way into town. And before that, actually, sorry, forgot to mention that our beautiful Chloe Johnson, just a girl, met the very kind and gentle nurse, Janice. She's a very kind woman, and was sent on a mission to go get some first aid supplies and cigarettes. They all went into town where Howie not desecrated because that's the wrong word, but destroyed some things in the library, and then met a boy who not Taylor. I keep calling you guys by your real names, not your character names. Who Imani was kind of messing with psychologically for a minute, but the boy Jordan seems to be one of Howie's subscribers for his zine. He found out. At the same time, Melody, not Melody. Sorry. Bethany decided to speak with some otherworldly friends who were haunting the town. Well, haunting's a bit of a mean word. They were just kind of going about their otherworldly life and living their undead life, and got some more information on some of the missing slash murdered people. Uh, RJ got a lot of spices and good food finally for the camp. Got some good information on the previous chef at the camp as well and how she was perceived by the town. And Chloe went into the convenience store and got all of her supplies, including some mace that I forgot to do your tags for, and I'm sorry about it. We will.
I also
figure it
forgot to
out.
remind you.
It's been
I can
a
pitch
day.
some stuff so that while we're going. So
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
I realized I well, I figured it out. Whatever, it's fine. Before we ended, we got to see a very heart-wrenching and beautiful performance by RJ as he found out how to open up the spice cabinet, first off, the locked spice cabinet, and then found a note from his mother. His mother, who was the previous chef at the camp, who was killed in an animal attack 9 years prior. And right after he found that, he found her little bat cave. Not really a bat cave, but her haven, where she housed different books, weapons, and her motorcycle. And that's where we left everybody. Now, we're going to kind of montage a couple of weeks. You know, the first night, there's a lot going on with Ross. I keep calling you by your people name and not your player name. I apologize. There was a lot going on with RJ. By the time he got back, everybody had already gone to sleep. JFK the goat snoring strangely on her little mat on the mattress. He gets home. He gets back to the bunk, I should say. Collapses on the bed. The next morning, they're all awoken to the counselors rushing around, getting everything ready for the imminent throngs of children to flood the camps. And before long, you all see just this collection of different kids from across the countryside coming into camp. Some clinging to their parents like barnacles, unwilling to let go until that final moment, the littlest ones, and others who run off the second they get a chance to breathe, and their parents can barely get a wave behind them before having to be rushed off, having to leave. And you see the older campers who, some come willingly and happily, and others come with that kind of somber reluctance that comes with being a 14, 15-year-old who's still doing things that they view as childish because they want to be different. We've all been there, don't even lie. We've all done it. The angst, it was real. Wouldn't do it again. I mean, maybe. So things get busy. You guys talked at one point last session about wanting to try to break into Dark Debbie's office. You guys never told me out or in or out of game when you would like to do this. Is there a time that you would think would be, okay, we'll plan to do it? You know, you mentioned doing it during the opening speech, but somebody else mentioned, well, it might be strange if we're not there, considering she might reference us and point us out to the crowd. But that is still a choice if you would like.
I think we should.
When are you planning on doing it?
When is Debbie occupied the most?
Honestly, when all of these kids are coming into camp, she's doing all the registration, all of the organization, trying to keep kids, you know, at least to some extent accounted for. This is one of the few times at camp when they really care about where you are because they need to know a head count on a day-to-day basis. But they don't necessarily, you know, need to know that moving forward. It's much more of a free range kind of camp. Remember,
Okay,
it's
so
the
this
ambiguous
is
80s, 90s.
before the time jump, then?
Yes. So right now we're kind of the next day. We're going to do a time jump kind of right after this, where we
Okay.
kind of get to know what you all got into in the first couple weeks of camp. Because the first couple weeks, you guys, I'm going to be honest, you will not get much investigating done. You can try, you absolutely may, but you're going to be doing a lot of stuff, and it's you've got kids to wrangle for the first couple weeks.
And we're establishing our rhythms. Yeah, then does everyone feel comfortable doing it during the opening ceremony? We can all find our own respective excuses for why we're not there, or a couple of us can go. That way it's not so pointed in absence.
I wonder if a couple of us can go.
Yeah.
I think the ones that make sense would be Chloe and Bethany. Maybe Bethany has like a tummy ache, and then Chloe has to watch her, and then that way, yeah, our ghost friend.
Yeah, the
can
first aid kit only has. She needs Tylenol, and I don't carry that around
Gradwell.
with me, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
Oh,
I
let's
can-
get you some Pepto. Let's get you some Pepto.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys both roll me, or one of you can roll me a manipulate person, and the other can roll a help out, if you would like. So manipulate.
Charm is my best one, so I will gladly do the manipulate person.
Yep,
I also
and
don't
help
know
out is
limited.
plus cool. Sorry.
Huh?
If like Imani or Howie wanted to go, that would make sense. I think RJ would stick out as like a sore thumb not being there, so he'll be there for sure. Yeah. Anyone else want to go?
I think Imani would help out since no one remembers her energy.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
So it'll just be me and Howie kind of holding down the fort.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let us know if we miss anything cool.
Wait.
There's not going to be anything
I
cool
tell
really
you
at
to
the
roll?
opening speech.
So were we all rolling to help out?
So I would
Yeah.
say that if Chloe is rolling manipulate person, you guys can both roll to help out. You know what, this is a very rules light game. We're just gonna kind of roll with it. It is what it is. We're kind of making things up if we want to. Chloe may not need it, but let's see. What did you get?
That's an 11 plus 2 for a 13.
Okay, yeah. So you don't really need any help. You're doing great. You get what you need. So basically, when you start putting on this little show of, trying to help Bethany to get her out of the area, and Amania comes over and kind of, you guys try and do the whole like, all right, arm on either side, we'll carry you, we just got to get you out of here before, no need to feel this bad. No need to feel this bad right here. We need to get you out of here. The counselors are looking around. They see you and they're like, "Oh, yep, some of the kids just go, "Is she okay? Is she okay?"
Well, if she's not, we'll make her okay, whether she likes it or not.
Okay. And they.
What does that mean?
At Camp MeadowView, it is my mission to give you the best summer ever. And that includes Bethany.
Woo!
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Oh God, don't puke on the kids. Let's go.
No, not on the kids, not on the kids.
You guys the three of you kind of head off to the admin building, and Chloe, you can see, Janice's light is on again. She's still hunkered in there. It's one of the few places with air conditioning. Her door is open, but only like halfway open. It's like one of those doorways where you're like, they don't want to be bugged, but they're also making it clear that they're there. It's almost like putting on the show. And you guys head upstairs to where the dormitory / offices are for the senior staff. You all, let's see. What are you guys gonna do?
Check if the coast is clear.
Why don't you roll plus sharp to read a bad situation?
I will. It's a 6.
Cool. So you.
Wait. Oh, wait. No, 6. Yeah. I'm just bad at math.
Yeah, TTRPGs are a lot of fun until you realize you have to be good at basic addition, and it's not great. It's not always great. It's okay. Yeah, you don't really notice anything. It all looks pretty quiet up there. It's all good.
Imani and Bethany, do we know exactly? We know which one. Okay, first of all, GM, we know which one of these rooms is Debbie's, correct?
Yes, you've been there.
Okay. We would have debriefed with the boys about what exactly we're trying to find, right?
What are you trying to find?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because that.
Howie, what are they trying to
I was like,
find?
wait, what are we? I know Howie would have had ideas.
We try to find is like evidence of like
Anything in
missings
the
and
plates?
Okay,
like,
and
ghost
anything
stuff,
about the missing
weird.
people, anything about weird monsters, anything about Bigfoot,
Yeah.
right?
I would be
Yeah.
looking for like scratch marks or fur or something, like some sort of evidence that
yeah.
there was a monster in there.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Or
look
like they
for
told me
any
I couldn't bring
evidence
a
of
cat.
Bigfoot.
So.
Any evidence of Bigfoot is really important. Anything suspicious, maybe the government has acted. It could be some sort of CIA op. Who knows?
She might be committing tax evasion. Yeah.
RJ would actually agree. I mean, like, maybe receipts or like documents. Maybe
okay.
they have new
Yeah.
permits that
Okay.
seem unusual for a camp.
Do we
things like
have
that.
access to the Xerox in the theater building?
You can.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't take it.
Well,
The theater building's
Why
kind
don't
of
you
far
guys
we can't
from
take.
first,
We don't have
before
cell
you
phones. We can't take photos.
before you guys get too far, why don't you? So the door to her office or to her room, to her dormitory, is unlocked. Um, why don't you guys all individually? I'll have two of you if you'd like. Who would roll
I'll keep
to?
watch.
Yeah, who would roll to investigate a mystery? Who would keep watch, and who would be helping out?
There's also you can use magic, I think, right?
Oh yeah, there's use magic if you have an idea for finding something that you're like, oh, magic could help here.
Maybe
know?
magic, yeah.
Actually, can I help out? Instead of keeping watch, would one of you be willing to keep watch? I've had an idea on a metagame level.
I mean, I can keep watch, but I think it would be weird if I got caught keeping watch.
Huh?
You don't have to keep watch if you don't want to.
Or you can keep Tabitha up though.
Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Tabitha's standing right next to you, and she's been like
Sorry,
standing there
Tabitha.
going,
Sorry, Tabitha.
like,
Sorry,
hello.
I was pretending to be sick, and I just got into my own head.
She rolls her eyes and kind of gives you the sign of like, heard it all before. Okay.
Does Tabitha forgive us?
I hope Tabitha forgives us.
She goes
Eventually.
out and she goes out, and all you see, Bethany, is a ghostly hand stick out like a thumbs up from the other side of the door.
Okay.
Kind of sarcastically, just being like, "You're all good."
Okay. We're good.
Cool.
Okay,
put the stage away.
Okay, let's start with the nightstand, okay? We start going through her stuff.
Whoever would like to can roll sharp to investigate a mystery.
I would love to roll to help out.
Help out is going to be roll plus cool.
I have nothing in sharp.
I have +2 in sharp, so I should probably
get it. Yeah, I'll help out.
And don't forget, magic is an option. If you want to roll plus weird to do weird stuff.
That's a 6 for me on my help out, but I will use my move oops to stumble across something important.
Great. Love that. I'll resolve the oops once we find out what they find from their investigation or magic or whatever they do.
Wait a second.
I get equally as excited when I roll a 6 because I'm like, experience.
I keep forgetting to remind you to mark experience. But yeah, Rosie's got that down pat. She's marking a lot of experience. So what happens when you build a character purposely to be terrible at things? Rosie is the
Just a
opposite
girl.
wait.
of a min-maxer.
That means I mark experience. Because I
Yes,
rolled that
you do
6
too. You
earlier.
rolled a 6.
Yes.
So I need to level up.
That will be
Yes.
at the end of the session.
Okay. Oh, and then
So now
just-
you, because
Gotcha. Now I level up.
just for viewer information, Lex has let us do milestone leveling in addition to the normal experience. So every session, each of us is getting as if we had 5 experience.
Mhm.
Basically because this is 4 episodes, and I said, fuck it, this will be more fun. And you guys aren't going to be playing this game again after next week. So we might as well have the most fun with it as possible and have the most ludicrous time with it. Not to mention, it will just make things more fun across the board.
So I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to derail us. You
All good.
got, what did you get for your investigate roll?
I haven't rolled it yet. I was just
And Imani, what are you
patiently
doing?
waiting.
I would like to use my ability fortune to look what the future holds.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8.
No, no. Oh,
Hair of 6. Well,
Oh,
3
shit.
and 3, and then plus 2.
that's a good roll.
Okay. Here we go. So you are using fortune, you said?
Yes.
Is that a different playbook? Just so I can look it
Yes.
up.
I can also copy and paste it too,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, what does it say? Just tell me what it says.
It says once per mystery, you may look at what the future holds. Roll plus weird. On a 10, hold 3. On a 7, 9, hold 1. On a miss, you get bad information from the keeper. And
Gotcha.
that affects you.
Okay. So yeah, go right ahead. You can roll for that. What was Bethany's investigative mystery?
8.
An 8. So with an
Yes.
8, you can ask one of the questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
That seems like the most logical choice. So, what is being concealed here? You start rifling through the room, and you come across on the desk this handwritten list of, it doesn't quite look like English, but you see a couple names that are familiar and in English, but some of the rest of it is not in English. It looks kind of like hieroglyphics to you. But you see names, and on there you see RJ's name.
RJ.
Does it say
Wait.
RJ or
Yeah,
does it
or-
say
Yeah, it says-
Ricardo Alvarez?
It says RJ.
Just RJ?
Just says RJ.
Okay,
And you
that
see
wasn't above
other
the table
names.
question. Chloe doesn't know.
It says, but it's a good question nonetheless, because you guys as the players know more than your characters do. So for clarification purposes, that's a-okay. It says RJ. You see the name Aaron. You know that name from the missing camp counselor who lived in a nearby town. You see other names of people, and names that you do not recognize in general. Most of the names are people that are not familiar to you, but those are the two that are RJ and Aaron.
Okay. Can I take the list?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I was just gonna show it to everybody else.
I wish we could. I don't think. Do you think we have time to go copy it?
I could take a picture with my Polaroid.
Oh, right, Polaroids.
And I have a digital or not disposable camera.
You guys all have
But
disposable
we'd have to
cameras.
get the-
Yes.
The film developed eventually. We can do that in town?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the drugstore had like. I'm trying to remember how long it took to develop photos in the 90s.
Long time Polaroid.
A long time.
Polaroid.
It was like a
Well,
week.
Well, there are 1 hour photos at this time, so
Okay,
Yeah, there
might
are.
be a
that's what I was
1 hour
questioning because I
photo.
knew that there were 1 hour photos, but I was like,
Yeah,
is that
but that's if they
is
do
that
it right away.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
yeah.
Polaroid probably is going to be more appropriate here.
Okay.
All right. So you take a Polaroid of it. Imani, what was your role for seeing the future?
I got a 6 and a 4, which equals 10, and my weird is 3, so 13.
God damn.
We'd love to see it.
God
We love to
damn.
see it.
So
So I
do
get
you
the.
mind sending
So
me
I
those
get.
pictures? Are the questions you can ask the same as investigate a mystery, or?
It's not a question. It's things I can have.
Oh,
So I can either have a useful object ready. I get to have 3. I can have a useful object ready, be somewhere where I need it, take a +4 or give a +4 to another hunter, or retroactively warn someone about an attack.
These are
okay.
also holds, so you
Yeah,
don't have
you
to
can hold
decide right
these.
now.
I was gonna say you can hold on to these, and let me know kind of. That's your one. It's your one time using this for the mystery.
Mystery.
So you can tell me in the moment if you're like, hey, you know what? I want to do. I this is part of my future prediction. You get 3 of those.
Cool. With the +4, do I get is that 4 stays forever, or does that go away after I use it?
Does it say
Mm,
+4 ongoing?
It doesn't say anything. It just says
plus
+1
one
forward.
forward. Yeah, so you just once it's just gone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
you can use it whenever you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you use
Cool.
it just the one time, but it's anytime you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask Taylor? Is there, as Imani is having this premonition of the future, is there like a visual indication that this is happening that might be noticed or something like that? Does it look like anything, or is this just Imani is cool and this is just happening in her brain?
No, it's just like, well, it's like not the like visual, but it's just like Imani's just like very disassociating really hard at like a vase or something.
In your
Just
mind,
going.
as you're disassociating in your mind, you are seeing flashes of the future. You're seeing these things happen that we will resolve as they come up. But you also hear this voice just going, so you
Sorry, that she would flinch at that.
Oh, are you okay?
Stefan's up.
Oh, sorry.
She's
Coach.
kind of messy, isn't she? It's
Wait
because
a
we have been
minute.
sorting through her stuff and have not left a mess in our wake. She is not messy.
And then the oops. We're gonna say the oops. So our oops is you go over to her bed and you find that it is weirdly damp. It is almost like a sleep sweat, but doesn't kind of Ross's face. It's like a sleep sweat, but like not not in like it's like more widespread than you would expect it to be, and it doesn't look damp. It looks like it was damp in the past, and it was just like residually damp. Just best word ever for it.
Ew.
It is generally moist.
That's horrifying.
Okay, I'm gonna take a page from a science class. Gonna. Can I smell anything if I like waft?
I love that you're wafting.
Very gently, just.
If you waft the smell, you get this. It smells almost. And I don't know how to describe this because I didn't anticipate you smelling it. But
I mean, it's a good instinct.
it's a great insight. It's a great.
Yeah,
Future five.
absolutely. Better than tasting. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna.
What, you're
taste
gonna
it.
lick her sheets? That sounds great. So you waft it, and it has this almost kind of. It's like if a LaCroix had a more chemical scent to it, like the vague
Ooh.
O of like do like
It smells
cleaning
like a
material.
Bath and Body Works body spray, is what
Yes,
you're saying.
but like if it were incredibly diluted, like to the point where it's just like that's why I said a LaCroix. Like it's the general essence of it, but you're like, I know, like I can smell it, but like it's not really there. And that's what you all get. So that's what you guys get with that. While this is going on, the boys are out on the great lawn in the great meadow, and everybody is gathering up together as Debbie has been giving her kind of welcome speech. Howie, you've heard this almost every single year, be it by Debbie in the past few years or by previous camp directors. And for the most part, it's about the same. It's always, this is going to be the greatest summer ever. We are dedicated to having wonderful time, staying safe, but all in all, just letting things loose and having a great time. You get a sense that there's some not falsity, hollowness in her voice as she's talking, almost as though it's something that's been scripted and she hasn't practiced it, and it's like a child reading a script, just going, "Yes, you guys are all going to have a wonderful summer. I hope it is a fantastic one, full of laughter and cheer. Oh, and don't forget that not only do we have our wonderful camp counselors, we also have some great, amazing counselors in training. Some you recognize and some you don't." And she looks around the circle and clocks that 3 of you are missing, and she goes, "And most of whom apparently can't be bothered to join us for this because it's
Howie is gonna like
important."
gesticulate like sick, like.
And she sees that and rolls her eyes and goes, "Uh-huh. So if you can't find one of the counselors, find a counselor in training. Um, yeah, just keep having a good time, and I'll check in periodically." It all just sounds very false in a way, just hollow and empty. And the group disperses. There's far less fanfare than there had been in the past because there's this lackluster conversation, this lackluster speech given. But you all disperse.
Question.
Yes,
Could I use magic?
you may. And what? Go ahead and roll for it first. Go ahead. Roll plus
Okay.
weird.
Ah, shoot, that requires dice, which I
Yes,
hear
it
I'm supposed to
does.
have out when I play this game.
I mean, you only need 2d6, and you could really you can use just one.
15.
God
Boom.
damn. So,
And
what are you doing?
I would like to do something that is beyond human limitations. I would like to read Dark Debbie's mind.
Okay. You stand there, and is this what it looks like when, okay, what does it look like when Howie attempts to do magic for the first time in his god-forsaken life?
I read about this in a book about aliens, and I take a small crystal out from my pocket and hold it to my third eye, and I stare at her intently.
She is actively not like, she's doing that thing where she's looking around the circle and actively skips over you with her eyes while this is happening. What you get from this is you hear a voice that's not the one that's been speaking. And you hear, "Can't wait for this to be over. If I could just end it all, that would be even faster, but they won't let me, and I guess I just have to watch these stupid children. At least we've got the others."
Who is they?
What do you mean? Did I say something?
No. Uh, I didn't think I could, but I tried. I read Debbie's mind. It's
Hey.
real.
What's real?
Magic. I read about it when I was reading about aliens, and then someone had sent me like a small piece of quartz in the mail. One of the fans of my zine, and I didn't think it would work, but then I tried it. That's why I did this. And she wants to end it all, which she could just hate kids, but that's new. But they won't let her. We have to tell the gals.
Okay, that sounds good. I have questions, but
Yeah, me too. Who is they?
I
Is it the
yeah.
government? Is it the aliens? Is it Bigfoot?
As Howie's kind of like rattling options, RJ tries to clock all the counselors to see if like they had a similar kind of laissez-faire kind of
They
feeling to this. Right.
they don't look like it. They're doing that whole,
Welcome to camp.
oh
It's nice to
yeah,
see you.
the
Yeah, all that.
college orientation, like early morning, we're ready to show some spirit kind of vibe. Where they're already kind of and like collecting groups of kids. Some are starting with those like call and response songs as they march off to different activities. Most of the kids are heading off to different dorms to kind of settle their stuff in, but others are like, I already got my stuff together and I'm ready to go. And so the counselors are, you know, all of them have put on the, let's go kind of face. Um, the only adult here that seems this blasé about it all is Debbie.
Okay. Howie, yeah, let's find the others, but I do have a question. Something that's been so as kind of like we walk and talk
Yeah.
to our meetup spot. I suppose it'd be our cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, the aliens totally built the pyramids. Is that what you were going to ask?
no, well, it is strange how they're all similar, huh? Oh no, but let me. Um, the campsite is. It seems like a lot of this stuff happens here at this campsite. I was just curious. Like, you've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed a pattern of like the people who are coming here? Like, is it all from a specific kind of
You mean like the
area or like social
counselors or the kids?
strata? Yeah, like maybe it's the kids, maybe it's the parents. I don't know. It's just a really
Hmm.
effective way of hunting. So if there is something out there, maybe there's a pattern. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh God. What would I roll to think about that? Would that maybe be a sharp roll?
Don't you have a move for connecting all the strings?
Connect the dots. You can do at once at the beginning of a
Oh, never mind.
mystery.
Mm.
Yeah, you can. Why don't roll plus smart or plus sharp? Why not?
Okay.
I'm sure there's some move that you could do, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. And I think that would
That's
effectively do it.
an
I can
11.
investigate.
An
Yeah.
11. So the question is, is there a certain demographic of people that
Yeah,
could be
pattern
at
of
fault
people.
here?
Hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of realize that this camp has a myriad of different people. They seem to have, for families that need it, there's financial support to try and help, diversify people across the board. There's kids from multiple different backgrounds, culturally, ethnically, financially, everything. And it doesn't seem to be anything consistent with any of the family members or the campers themselves. Um, most of the campers, the one thing that is going on is that most of the campers are from the Colorado area. There aren't that many that come from wildly out of state, such as
Hmm.
Chloe and Howie. But there are some that are, my parents came here, so they sent me here, even though we live in Washington State or we live
Yeah.
God knows where. Um,
Right.
but
Okay.
yeah, you're not really seeing a major connection between all of these different people that would indicate that they are part of this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there's no pattern, RJ. But the pattern that we found before at the library with the deaths, like there's a pattern that places everything happening really close to here in the mountains. But no,
Uh,
not that I can remember, and I've been coming for like 8 years.
okay. No, that okay. Then that means the the prey. It isn't about gathering the prey. It's about the geography. And like you said, there must be something. So
Yeah, yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, let's find the others.
All right, so you
Hopefully
guys
they.
all meet up, and I'm assuming you all share the information that you gather, but you don't have that much time to get stories straight. you have a bunch of 12 to 15-year-olds all moving into their cabin right next door to where you all are sleeping. And some of them have a lot of questions. Many of them are fascinated by the goat. Um, and many of them are just trying to get to know you all and talking a lot at you. Some of the older campers just kind of put their beds together, and you see some of them, go off to do their thing. Some go off on hikes. There's some of the older campers that don't need any supervision. You're there as like they're there. They're supervision to say that they're supervision, but who's really watching a 15-year-old all that much? Um, and so some of those 14, 15-year-olds head off on their own, but the 12 and 13-year-olds that are a little bit more anxious about things and just starting a lot of that stuff might be talking with you all more. And as the day kind of goes through it all, you all start getting into your activities with the campers. You don't really get much of a chance for the next couple days. You maybe get a couple moments here and there to catch up. And is there anything you guys would be doing in these first couple days that you would like to share with the group?
I am absolutely shocked that I actually have to lead kids in theater. I just wanted air conditioning. And
Yeah,
I
you've got a lot of
won't
kids
stop
who you've
complaining.
got some of those some of the 12-year-olds who think that they're really good actors because they were in that one elementary school production of Willy Wonka, and
Mm-hmm.
they are like, "Oh, but Howie, I should really be the lead because I have a theater background.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
am trained. I am trained in theater."
Great. We will do auditions in the next couple of days. Yeah. Yeah.
The eye thing. Um, so yeah, that's happening. Anything else anybody would like to mention that they would be doing, that they'd be participating in as we go through things? Okay, if not.
Um, Bethany's working on a super secret project in the arts and crafts cabin.
Beautiful. Love that. Um, so the first week of camp goes by without and too many hiccups for the most part. You all kind of get through your projects, you get engaged with these kids, you start to get to know more and more of them as you see them gravitate towards the activities that intrigue them the most. Um, you have a couple of the younger kids, um, especially ones that go to the arts and crafts area most. Um, Kind of a couple of them you mention here and there, no, jackalopes are real. I saw one. It's like a rabbit with antlers. You hear people talking about different animals that just sound a little off. They're like, no, there are these birds that have like hamster heads. It's fine. That's I. There was one right outside the window the other day. I saw it. Um, you see all of you see there's sightings here and there of Debbie. She keeps a distance. She doesn't seem to engage with most of you, and every once in a while, if you look up at the admin building, you'll see her up at the very top, looking out over the camp, kind of just watching and observing. And yeah, Ross, your food, not Ross, I keep doing that. RJ, your food is a smashing success. You heard that a lot of the kids in the past, you really dealt with a lot of constipation the first couple weeks of camp, and you're not hearing those complaints. It's almost as though having food that isn't just disgusting and full of preservatives makes you feel good. Um, you start getting more fruits and veggies on campus, around the camp. uh, Silas has essentially just kind of resigned. He's like, hey, dude, I will like sign off on whatever I gotta sign off on. If you need help like chopping stuff up, that's fine. But like, I don't really. If I can do it sitting down, that's even better.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. Cleaning, I could use a hand there, but otherwise,
Well,
yeah, just chill.
we'll see. That's a work in progress. We'll see. We'll see.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, maybe. You know, you got to get me in the right mood sometimes for that.
Sure. And I like hand him another burrito, and they're like, it's getting better and better every time I need to like bribe him.
Yeah, because you're getting slowly more and more good food, so they're just like diversifying in
Yeah.
the best ways. And every
I'm
time
also
you just kind of like,
intentionally ramping it up. So every time I'm trying to train Xylus to like do what I need him to do.
yeah, so you're basically Pavlov's
Yeah.
burritoing this
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy into doing what you need him to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna make you roll to manipulate because that's great enough. You know, it's Pavloving conditioning like that is takes
Yep.
some time. Um, After the first week, it's been about a week or so. Imani, it's the middle of the night, and you wake up in this kind of that breathless, heavy heavy breathing that you get when you wake up from a night terror, and it all comes flooding back to you. In your dream, a gigantic woman. I don't mean like, you know, just this. She's a very large woman, red skin, about 8 feet tall, glowing red eyes, curling horns, long ebony, not ebony, but long raven black hair, and tattoos and piercings coating her body. Gorgeous. In this dream, she looks at you in she looks at you through a mirror as though she's standing directly behind you. And every time you go to look behind yourself in reality, she's not there. And suddenly she steps through the mirror, shattering it, grabs your chin, and just goes, think you forget what your place is here. You're supposed to be doing a job for me. I held up my end. What are you going to do next?
I told you I just needed more time.
Time is not something I am willing to give, but I am willing to take things away. Remember that your humanity is forfeit if you don't hold up your end of the bargain. I need more souls.
I understand. I'm trying to. It's hard to balance taking care of kids and go soul hunting. It's not the greatest thing to do.
She moves her hand down to right around your throat and goes, you can get really creative. I don't care if they're kids.
I hear you.
Get to work. And when you wake up, you kind of have this tingling feeling all over your body as you start to, and you look down and you see that there are some swirling tattoos starting to appear just underneath your skin, like dark black ringlets. And when you wake up, the one thing that kind of comes to your mind is what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's something comforting that you would go for when you were afraid of, when you were missing home, when you were scared, when you were a kid?
Snacking is a good, like, calming place. Going to the kitchen and just grabbing a snack is what always calms Imani down.
You head to the kitchen. When you were really young, you would go here, and there would be, you know, the secret stash of chocolates. And RJ is doing a really long night. He is still cleaning after dinner. Silas has long since gone to bed with no help. Um, and you walk into the kitchen and you see RJ dealing with all the mountain of dishes.
Hey,
Uh,
can I get you something,
uh,
Imani?
hey, sorry. I didn't expect you to be here this late. I'm sorry. I just came in here just like grab like a chocolate bar or something. It's been a rough night, and
Yeah, yeah. You go ahead. I'm not sure. I didn't buy any chocolate bars, but yeah, you feel free to rummage. Yeah, I'll just be here.
Like I think I know where some can be at, and if she just try to like run to one of the kitchen like closets or something, trying to find like a box or something that's like where a long time ago they try his secret stashes of snacks and stuff there and stuff. She doesn't care how old they are. It's just something comforting.
Oh yeah, you find a box of way in this back like kind of cabinet in the pantry, little eerily close to the opening to the haven for RJ's for RJ's liking, probably. Um, you see this box that's full about halfway with very stale, potato chips. You see some dried fruits. You see things that are properly preserved, some caramels and some honey based sweets, a lot of bit of honey, um, and other things. And you have your secret stash.
Yeah. She'll just start rummaging through it and pick out like pick up the bag of chips first right now. She can tough through that taste than anything else.
Um, I guess as you're like rummaging, and the chips are not good.
The chips are
I,
disgusting.
yeah, I don't. I think as you find things, it's just not great, and like honey candies isn't really gonna um, scratch that itch, I suppose. Um, then you hear from behind you. Um, the the jawbreakers are in the red box, Monty.
And then once Monty heard just Monty, that like kind of triggers something in her brain when she turns around. And she was like, nobody has ever called me Monty except for one person when I was a kid. And, uh, and like I called them Rico. And then
Hey, Monty.
she was just like, give him a tight squeeze. And she's like, I knew it. Like, and also I probably feel a punch on the shoulder.
Ah, jeez. When did you
I'm,
get
I'm,
so strong?
I'm so sorry. It's like working out and swimming and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
sure.
punch that hard. But why would
There's
you
like
leave
a
me
there's
on?
like a bruise. Holy shit. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't want to lie to you or Howie. I needed to. I needed to get back. Um, there's so much I need to figure out still, and I didn't want people to know, but I couldn't.
It's, a,
I
it's, a,
I
it's
really
because
missed you.
I missed you too. Like, he was like one of my like only like best friends here. Like, that's I care about you a lot, especially it's like she just starts like thinking hard and about like his mom and she just like kind of connected smallly together and just like I was like, are you back here because of her? You think he's connected to all this?
Yeah, definitely. Um, RJ looks around. It's pretty late. Folks are done. I think he also has like some fruits and food by the door, essentially to be like a honey pot in case people want to come in and like grab some things and leave to keep them far away from the kitchen. Um, and RJ says, I need to show you something.
It was like, this is the other stash. I already know about that one.
Yeah, actually, there's another.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah. Do you,
She'll follow.
and then, sorry, 90s. I think RJ would have watched this. So he walks towards the spice cabinet and he turns around and he extends his hand to Imani and says, "Do you trust me?"
She's like she grabs his hand and be like, always.
And you notice that he's still wearing the friendship bracelet.
And she was wearing hers too.
Yeah.
I love the props. I'm like obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with my own players. It's great.
So RJ, like, I think he would have tried to find a way to latch that door closed to make sure that it's hidden as much as possible. So he undoes it. And Imani, you see stairs going down. It's dark. There's not much light going down there, so you really have to like trust RJ as he or Rico as you know him as he goes down the stairs. You actually get to a point and he grabs your head very lightly and helps you duck underneath a bit of stone, and he pulls a string that turns on a light bulb, and you see it. You see the haven in all of its glory, and
she's like at a loss for words to be like, this camp has something like this cool? How long you knew about this?
You say that and then you look around and there's like literally a wall of knives and a couple guns.
Oh snap, why is there weapons?
yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out too. But this was my mom's.
Was she like a hunter? An FBI agent?
I don't know. I've been trying to read through her journals. She keeps talking about this organization. She talks about like a target. I haven't been able to figure out exactly who or what she was hunting, but I think that's why she died. So, and RJ's like the light bulb has kind of been swinging a little bit and casting shadows, and at one point it swings kind of hard and the light fades from his eyes, and RJ says, "I'm not leaving here until I find it."
In one of the books that you were looking at, where you mentioned an organization, you read about an organization called the Arcane Vanguard. You found one book, and it's kind of implied that there are multiple books kind of sparsed around here to give you more information as you find them. But you find that this organization has a vow that believes in protecting humanity from the horrors that lurk in the darkest corners of the world. They vow to operate silently and discreetly, and they want to keep monsters hidden from the general populace to prevent widespread panic. You read that they have a very strict code of honor and ethics. There's a very strong devotion to respecting both human life and natural balance in the world. And one of their biggest proponents is collateral damage is damage nonetheless. So they want to minimize damage to other people whenever possible. So far, that's what you have found.
And I don't think. Oh, maybe RJ continues and he says, my mom did a lot of this to protect me and my brothers and sisters and the campers here, and I want to uphold that. But I didn't take her vows. So I'm willing. I need to do whatever it takes.
And you won't do it alone. And
Great.
yeah,
Sorry.
MeadowView feel like he's good.
Yeah. And RJ goes, he realizes he's still holding Mani's hand. And he like
They
takes
both
it from
like
the inside.
let go. It's
Sorry.
like yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I can trust you.
Yes, and I want you to trust me what I'm about to say to you. I did something bad last year that I have to accept the consequences for, and I'm very afraid of what those consequences are. I was tired of being invisible and alone, and I saw in the forum about a book that you can just like. I thought it was like a manifesting crystal book or something like that, and I just did this ritual in the local library, and I made a deal with a demon to get rid of my zits, make me just better, like basically a second puberty of my life. And deals are deals, and I have not been doing my side of the deal because it's not ethical to do. The demon wants me to keep on giving them souls over and over, and that means other people get hurt, and I do not want to hurt other people, and I'm so afraid that she's gonna go after the campers.
As you're explaining this, RJ would have actually taken a step back and kind of reflexively grabbed one of his drumsticks. And then from kind of your perspective, Imani, there's something special about them. There's like this script that's kind of etched into them. And he's kind of gripping really tightly and then catches himself. It's like, what am I doing? Okay. Cool. Okay.
It's like I promise I'm me, just me plus abilities and a demon.
Yeah.
Just casual. It's like there's like, come on, we have Bethany in the group. I think this is the least of it issues right now.
Do you remember that time when we were kids? We snuck into the camp director's office because we heard they had like really good imported German chocolates.
Yes,
And
that was amazing time.
we tracked mud everywhere and led back to uh, your cabin, but um, I, when they started asking you whether or not, what did you do and what did you take, I ran up and I made sure that my boots were as muddy as possible. I said, like, hey, don't ask Bonnie. Uh, I I took whatever. Um,
I've been grateful ever since. It's like
we'll face these consequences together. And they said souls. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
We gotta tell everybody. I think we're kind of running out of daylight. I feel like Debbie's.
Oh, it's middle of the night.
I guess what he's referring to like the
Oh,
summer.
You're good.
Like,
You're good.
or-
I was just reminding you of
Yeah.
what time it was, just in case
It's like
it was a
super late at
faux pas.
night. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
totally.
are we gonna show everyone else about the Haven, or
Well, they showed everything about them. You know,
Mhm.
it's one of the reasons why I really love Howie. They're just how they are,
yeah,
and Bethany's like that, and Chloe's like that. You know, we should approach their honesty with our own. You know what I mean?
I was like, I trust them. I really do.
On
Like,
that.
Plus, I saw Howie like read somebody's mind the other day. That's kind of
Mine?
like,
Monty's like, how
We
can
cut
yeah,
away.
for real.
On that note,
Cue the
the night.
theremin noises.
Yeah.
Cue the Doctor Who theme song. It's all great.
Hell yeah.
On that note, you both head to bed in your own times and paces, and we move ahead of
Can I have
time.
Imani steal a gun from the Haven?
Amani wants to steal a gun.
Yeah, or a knife, whichever one of the weapons on the wall.
RJ would give it to you if you
Oh,
asked.
either way. Like, can Imani have a gun?
Just casually, just
So-
take a gun off
I
the
mean,
wall
do
as you're
you-
walking out.
Yeah, I was gonna
think-
say, do you
I
want to
think
carry a
RJ
gun as like a 16-year-old with a bunch of young children around?
We have
Yeah,
backpacks.
I think RJ would give you like a really like badass like knife.
Yeah, I think a knife.
Yeah, like the one that curls. You know what I mean? Anyways,
A knife
yeah,
with a
something really
sheath?
cool,
With a
easy
sheath.
to put
Ooh.
away. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Something that, yeah, that would be obvious if somebody accidentally grabbed from you.
Just a gun in your.
Just like
It's
just
so
like a
funny.
Glock.
I mean, it's the 80s/90s. A kid having a gun is not that much of a surprise. God bless
No,
America.
it's not,
Everybody's gonna
especially in the
have
Rocky
those
Mountains.
whipped out.
Especially in the
I
Rocky
was like, it's
Mountains.
late at night. She could easily hide it in the cabin, and like, she's like, I don't want to fuck with this cat doll creature.
I got you. Here's a knife.
Here's a
Take
knife.
this. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
You can add a knife to
Got
your
it.
inventory, and yeah.
I need to buy a gun. That's
All right, so days kind of start moving again. We are getting towards the mid to the end of the second week. During this time, you guys all in your own time learn about the Haven, as RJ introduces it to you, and you all get to learn that there is this extra space that seems to be unknown to the counselors and other adults at the camp that you all have relatively free access to. During
Whoa.
this time,
I knew there was a secret passage. You told me there wasn't.
I know where the ammo is, so you can take what you need, but I'll keep the ammo with me.
Do you
Also,
think
Howie,
that
there's like some awesome books in that corner. I think. Yeah.
By the way,
you
do you think that
find-
like Deep Throat made this?
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I'm
Deep
sorry,
Throat,
what?
the informant on Nixon for the Watergate scandal.
I got it.
Oh.
I got it.
Yeah,
Not all of us
yeah.
are U.S. history nerds. Yes, I took AP U.S. history, but I also hated it and was terrible.
Oh,
at
I
it,
knew
so
out of character, Lex.
I
I
did
knew
not.
out of character.
I did not. I fully admit
I'm
that.
Canadian. So
I'm kidding.
That is a fair excuse to
That's
not know
fair.
American history.
Ross,
What
Ross,
you don't
never
like,
change that.
Yeah, please never.
Yeah,
But also, wait,
don't.
you Canadians don't spend way too much of your time learning about another country's history for no reason.
They have
Just
to learn
one
British
country.
history.
Back on track.
yeah.
So you guys all learn about the Haven in your own time. Chloe, during this next week or so, JFK starts getting very attached to you. It's almost like he's imprinted on you in a way, or she's imprinted on you, where she kind of jumps up on you in the mornings. She'll sleep kind of on top of you or right next to you. She is big enough that she doesn't quite fit right on top of you, so she kind of like splats on you. Her cloven feet will occasionally dig into you a little too much, and it's rather uncomfortable at times. But getting woken up with a meh is not a terrible way to go
I think
sometimes.
I have a cat at home that wakes me up by jumping on my kidneys, so
Fair enough.
fair enough.
And so, yeah, JFK has started getting very attached to you and starts to like almost follow you around camp as well. The kids are obsessed with it. They think it's amazing that you've got this goat, and because the other goats in the farm, they are a lot more skittish of strangers now. The goat that was taken to the vet did come back and is doing beautifully, just to put that out there.
Good.
Um, so yeah, JFK started getting very attached to you.
Yeah, I think it feels very Scooby Doo esque, where it is like
Oh, I froze.
we're going better at hiking than I am, frankly.
Yes, quite. Yeah, so you're doing your job of being the on the scene first aid person, learning a lot, hands-on stuff. Um, and JFK has kind of become your little mascot. Uh, Howie, what play did the kids choose to put on this year?
So first, I do have to say, all I can imagine is JFK like affectionately head bumping Chloe constantly.
Oh, and
Yeah.
she absolutely will come up behind her and like head bump the back of her knees so she buckles a little bit every once in a while.
Absolutely.
But not hard enough to cause like problems.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah,
going back
absolutely.
to plays, I was thinking of a few options. Had a gobbler, rhinoceros, waiting for Godot. Those would be fun. Maybe Lady Windermere's fan. I considered saying the King in Yellow for my own little giggles.
Of course.
I think I'm going to center on the Scarlet Letter.
Beautiful. So this very heavy play about adultery and puritanical vibes.
With
And
fifth graders, yes.
With fifth graders and younger,
Mhm.
who don't understand why, somebody having a child out of wedlock is a big deal, or why somebody looking a little different means that they're evil, at least in a play, because we all know that that's not true. But yeah, great choice. Really light and happy for a bunch of kids in the summertime. Beautiful, It's no.
I will say, if Howie could play
Seussical.
piano,
No
it
Seussical.
would have. Yeah. If Howie could play piano, it would have been Sweeney Todd. But
fair
not
enough.
having piano skills, I had to go with something lighter.
Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, you are kind of picking all that stuff up. You start whenever you get a chance, you are devouring books in that haven, learning about the Arcane Vanguard, this organization that Queenie Alvarez seems to be a part of. You're learning through about all of this stuff, and one of the things that's kind of sticking to you is that the in progress notes all seem to be written in some kind of, shorthand that isn't standardized, like isn't standard in a way that you recognize it. So you're spending a lot of time trying to decipher it and you're kind of driving yourself insane about it. So a lot of her personal notes haven't come to fruition where you're like, I know what this says.
Okay.
But you're learning.
I love that. I also realized with magic, you can say summon a monster.
Yes, you may.
Could I maybe say, look at these, find the way to summon a monster, and eventually try casting magic again to do just that?
What? I mean, you can. You can try.
Because I would like to summon our friendly neighborhood monster and then try communicating it with magic, because I could try that too as one of the effects.
Okay, so you
Please
want
tell
to...
me you're not doing this alone.
Everyone's invited to the party.
Oh.
So you're summoning the cat dog creature?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, I would like to. And then I'd like to try communicating with it.
Gotcha. All right. Where are you attempting to summon this creature?
Our cabin. We just have to make sure that JFK is safe. So just outside our cabin late at night.
Cool.
The haven's fine. You can do it inside. It's quite big. There's a tunnel that goes out.
I just didn't want to invite a monster into
There's
the haven.
kids next door at the cabin.
Yeah, if you bring that up, RJ.
Or we could use the goat barn, because then it's a little further away from the kids, and
I mean, there's also first the arts and crafts shack if that's something that you care about, or the theater.
Yeah, Bethany, could we do that?
on a project in there, so as long as that doesn't get messed up, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I have no intention of doing anything to it.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are gonna go to the arts and crafts tent or arts and crafts shack.
I love that.
Great.
Howie, I
Got it.
don't. So JFK can jump, and like I think when I say jump, JFK does jump a little.
Oh, absolutely.
And
JFK
he
makes a
can do
little.
she can do a couple tricks, but she doesn't stay anymore.
Maybe keep her in the cabin.
No. I think we walk out of the cabin, we close the door behind us, and even though JFK has no thumbs, somehow the doorknob does turn and JFK comes out.
At first, if you look behind you, you see in one of the
Wow.
windows, JFK is like standing on one of the bottom bunks, looking out the window, like with
Just looking.
the kind of demonic sideways, the horizontal pupils going.
Yeah, one of these. Yeah.
And then you kind of hear a thump, and the door just kind of shoots open as she headbutts it open, and she just comes trotting out, and she kind of looks over at you, Bethany, and goats don't really smile, but she kind of gives you this wry look and just goes, "Meh."
Oh.
Perfect.
Yeah, she likes to participate.
Just hold on tight.
Okay.
You guys all head to the arts and crafts shack. You open the door. It's relatively like chaotic in there, just because there's always a bunch of projects going on with these kids. You see some of the Tupperwares are now starting to dwindle, and supplies is just some of the gimp string is getting used up pretty quickly. Some of the beads are going low. It's been almost 2 weeks of camp, so yeah, some of these kids are really going ham with the friendship bracelets. But in the corner, you see a to-scale model of the British Parliament and Big Ben made entirely out of Q-tips, um, taking up a good chunk of like the front right-hand corner when you walk in. Um, it's about like I want to how finished would you say it is, Bethany?
I'd say about a third of the way through.
Yeah, so it's got like the distinct features, but you can see that it definitely needs like some of more of the scaffolding is there essentially, but some of the details need to be worked out. But you're seeing that the scale is there, and it's very much like if you were to just take it and make a Lego set, but out of Q-tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
That's
this your
very
personal one, or is this
cool.
what the kids are doing?
Oh no, this is me. I'm making
Oh,
this.
you got a lot of skill.
And Chloe, you would recognize too. You're like, no wonder there've been no Q-tips for any of the Neosporin that I've had to administer. There's been a lack of Q-tips in all of the supplies across camp. And you see like 3 Tupperwares full of like Q-tips that Bethany is going to be using throughout this whole project that she has just collected from around camp.
Sorry.
Can I just shove a handful of these in my bag? Cause I've been out and we haven't gotten to town lately.
No, because I need more in town.
Yeah, I need more for. Okay, and we'll talk about it later. We don't have to worry about it right now.
We got things to do, folks.
Yeah.
Bethany, you are an awesome architect. Could you help me figure out how to keep this place locked down? Things that we need to get in front of doors.
Yes.
We got to lock this place down.
Yeah.
Wait, can I see that book with that ritual thing?
Was that to me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. And Bethany, can I get some finger paints?
They are second drawer, that cabinet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, here's the book, and he's gonna just grab like whatever colors. It doesn't really matter the color. And he's just gonna start going to town, putting a big diagram on the floor with finger paint.
Red.
Did he like bookmark the 3-page for summon, contain, and understand? Are those 3 different spells bookmarked?
There was no contain.
Oh.
Yeah, It
I feel
probably
like I flip through the book and I go, okay, so I feel like we should use this one too.
yeah, it's a hunter's notebook, so it probably talks about all the things you shouldn't do
Yeah, it's
Right.
definitely
get
saying
it.
like do not summon monsters that you don't know how to defeat,
Mhm.
especially into small contained areas where you cannot easily escape yourself. Do not enlist a bunch of other children into a childlike militia to destroy said monster with no idea what you're doing.
It's like writing itself as you read it.
Yeah, it's like, don't be stupid, you're being
Yeah.
stupid.
Go to bed.
Mhm.
Go to bed, you've got things to do in the morning.
As we're like setting up, trying to bar the door as best as we can, lock the windows and whatnot. RJ does pass by Imani and ask, kind of whisper ask, would this count?
I don't know. I could try.
Let's try.
Let's try.
I guess like could we have like now I'm out of character. Chloe is naive, but she's not that stupid.
Just ask your question.
Yeah.
Do you think we could like I don't know, it didn't seem like it's like a person-y kind of monster. It seemed like more like an animal-y kind of monster. So can we like maybe try and talk to the Kennedys first and see if it works? Before we summon the one that wants to eat things?
Uh,
Or maybe we can summon a
Sure.
Squignit. Just to make sure it works.
One of the birds.
Before we go for the big boys.
yeah.
Um,
I'm pretty confident about the summoning,
yeah.
but the talking might be good to
Mhm.
test.
Yeah, because it's not like they might not even have a language.
Okay.
Why don't you do it to JFK and then, yeah. We can try
Yeah.
it here.
Okay. All right. And he'll like reach into his bag and grab out like a couple of crystals and like wave them around. And I guess I'll try casting magic to talk to JFK.
Go ahead. Are you making JFK talk, or are you talking to JFK?
I am talking to JFK. I'm communicating with the creature. And that's a 14.
Cool.
Holy.
So
Ooh.
I hate that you're this weird that you basically never fail on this, but whatever. Tis what it is.
Oh, I
But-
can fail.
I know you can. But
He's just rolled really well.
Yeah.
you kind of, the world kind of just and JFK kind of looks at you with her kind of weird eyes and just goes,
Hey,
you could talk to me.
you can talk to me.
You could talk to me.
You can talk to me.
Is Howie making
I'm
goat
weirded
sounds
out.
right now?
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah,
Horrible
it's,
goat sounds.
it's
Yeah.
goat sound to goat sound.
Okay.
I've seen everything.
How do you like
This
the
is weird.
name?
Is it actually working?
That's
Or
too
is
good.
Howie just making goat noises?
I wish I could
I
tell.
don't understand the name. What does it mean?
Jay. Oh, he was president. He got shot
Am I gonna get
by the
shot?
government.
Am I gonna get
No,
shot?
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And I end it.
She looks scared. Howie, what did you tell her?
I just asked her if she liked her name.
I guess she doesn't.
She does.
RJ has some fruit and gives it to JFK. He usually has
Okay.
like snackings.
It worked.
It worked.
And I'm totally gonna
It worked?
fail on the monster. It's gonna be great. But yeah,
All right.
it worked.
Okay.
Wait, I want to talk to her. Can I try?
Sure. Go here are the crystals.
Roll magic.
There.
Roll plus
Um,
weird.
No, so I actually have a feature that whenever you would roll plus weird, you can roll plus charm instead by channeling the power of your bond.
Oh
So I will
yes,
roll
you
plus
have your
charm.
weird bond.
Nice.
Go right ahead.
Whoops! I just had a d6 bounce out of the tray.
Doesn't count then. Reroll.
That's a 4. I got
Total?
snake eyes. I got snake eyes.
Oh my god. So you
She
attempt to
doesn't
like
understand
bleat.
English.
You try to bleat at JFK, and all that happens is she kind of stares at you, and to everyone else there's silence. To Chloe, you hear in your mind, you know that was complete gibberish, right?
And I think I because I could differentiate that I was hearing bleats out loud but words in the head. I think back. Well, was Howie actually doing gibberish? I'm assuming the spell worked.
Howie was speaking goat. I luckily I figured out how to speak goat back, so that was good. But no, what you said was nothing. You just kind of screamed. That meant nothing in goat.
Okay. Well, if we could just do it this way, I think that's better anyway. Better for the vocal cords, right?
Maybe
It's more
for
secret,
yours, I
too.
don't know.
Just to be clear, we all hear Chloe speaking out loud,
Yes.
right?
No.
No, oh, you're speaking in your
yes.
head.
No?
I was
I
thinking
would
mine.
say I was thinking you were speaking out loud.
I thought you were speaking out
Because
loud.
that's the
Because
funniest
then you would
answer.
get the condition. Then you would develop a condition. You would develop a
Mhm.
condition where everybody thinks you're starting to lose it a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Yes,
so
it was out
to
loud.
the
I
audience-
thought, yeah, no, that's perfect.
To the audience, we because of what this thing is.
This is from the para-romantic playbook. I
Yes.
am not in a romantic relationship with John F. Kennedy.
Yes. So we decided to take this beast bond and take a part of it where, you know, I think it's called the abuse bond, and there's like a friendship, or like a lovers and friendships thing where
Yeah, they have like a relationship scale.
We decided to change that and borrow the conditions idea from Shadow Hearts 2 or Shadow Hearts
Monster
2nd
Hearts,
edition.
yeah.
Monster Hearts.
Monster
Sorry,
Hearts,
I was thinking.
yeah.
Why did I think Shadow Hearts?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Amazing.
Multi-tape.
Monster
Love
Hearts
it.
2nd edition, where
Yeah,
a
yeah.
condition essentially changes how people in the world view you. It doesn't change how you act or anything necessarily, but the people around you start to see you in different lights as you gain these different conditions and from failing roles essentially related to this bond. So we
So
changed
I
that
think-
to make it less creepy and less deeply disturbing.
So I think in this moment, as Chloe is like totally thinking she's talking telepathically, is talking out loud, I think JFK just gives all 4 of you a look of like, are you fucking seeing this?
She just looks at all of you, and you just hear, "Bah."
RJ walks over to Chloe and like, maybe you should sit down for a bit.
Okay.
Great. Here's an orange.
Yeah, so you all start to think that, you know,
I'm
the
just
supernatural
holding
stuff
an
is starting
orange,
to get
like-
to this just a girl. You know, she's not used to any of this kind of weird stuff, and you guys are starting to think that it's getting to her. You know, she's losing it a little bit with it.
Right. I'm gonna finish the summoning circle.
Says something entirely more in.
But yeah, but that's Howie.
Yeah, and he's just gonna turn like hair crazy. There's like finger paints on his face.
Yeah.
And he's just like smearing the red. I'm gonna go with red, like to get that like sigil on the floor with the weird writing all around it, and
Go for it.
he'll sit in the middle.
A little bit of paint goes a long way, though. Just let me know.
Okay, get it, hand it.
Yeah.
And then he'll take it from you and just like smear it around the edge of the outer circle.
Okay. So
Nice.
this is going to be kind of a use of big magic, which
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so in this game, big magic, you still would roll the same way, but there are other components that need to be performed, which you're already doing. You're creating the summoning circle, you're getting different things in order, but it is also something that is far more dangerous. Um,
Mhm.
so it is something that when shit hits the fan, it's not just a oops, it kind of gets skewed a little bit. It's a oh dear God. So with that in mind,
With that in
roll.
mind, can I do a read a bad situation to see if the barricades we've set up
Yeah,
are,
absolutely. Go ahead.
if I
Go ahead.
believe they'll be fine?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Read a
The
bad
way
situation.
And
the
I
way
will.
Lex says, "Yeah, go ahead," does not give me confidence here.
I
By the
know.
way,
I will use my fortunes and give another hunter a +4. So take that, Howie. Take that 1+2, whatever you
Yeah,
need
give
to.
it to Howie
all right.
For
Does
Yeah.
this count as charging into immediate danger without hedging our bets?
Yes, in my opinion.
In my opinion, yeah.
I would disagree because you actually are kind of hedging bets by setting
Okay,
yourself
fair.
up for success by trying to barricade the room,
That's
by
fair. And
trying
Amani
to
helped me. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
yeah,
That's
and
fair.
you've
It's right
practiced
here.
one of the spells.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah, so
paying
I
for
would
that.
disagree. It's definitely not without thinking.
You know
Uh,
what?
so
Can you blame me for asking?
no, I can't. But can you blame me for disagreeing?
No, I don't disagree. I would have had the same answer.
I rolled a 4.
Cool. Yeah, everything looks
Read a bad
great.
situation. I wonder if it kind of looks. It's like set up in a way that's similar to the Q-tip architecture.
Yeah, remember the Q-tip stuff is only a third done, so it's really only got the scaffolding. You've got some things kind of barricaded up, and you've got everything up against the door.
Right.
And I'll let you know how it pans out in a minute.
Great.
But it's kind of like almost like not Jenga. It's like how you've got like a board and then another board that diagonally, almost like the Donkey
Yeah,
Kong
kind of
games
just-
where it's like
Yeah, it's just
know,
like
really
Yeah,
sparse
yeah.
platforms that you're going up. That's what you have barricading the
Yep.
door. And yeah, I'll let you know how that's panning out in a minute too.
It doesn't have thumbs. That'll work great.
great.
The way you said, "Yeah, it looks great," made me think of how I say things to players, and now I know how it feels. I love it.
It was so funny. Yeah, it looks great. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's exactly what I do too, and now I know I hate it, and I love it. All right.
Mhm.
So yeah. Oh, Bethany,
We
Bethany,
tried.
can you get me a candle? Is there a candle?
Kind of
I have a lighter. I
Yeah,
start
there's-
rummaging through my bag.
There
Okay,
would be
okay.
like a couple of candles here and there, like little tea lights for like
Like a
kids to make
lantern.
little floating boats to go out
That's
on
what I
the.
was kind of thinking. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Can you
So I didn't
light?
think of those as candles.
Yeah. Can you light one on each side of me, just
Yes.
on the outside of the circle? Okay. Right. And,
Always?
in my mind, that's the help that I'm getting from Amani. Like Amani said something that made me second guess. Then I remembered the candles.
Yeah,
Mm.
I was gonna ask for it to do a help, but in a different way. I was
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
what
think
do you
that's
wanna do?
perfect.
Do it. Yeah.
I was gonna like.
¿Por qué no los dos?
It's a +4. You can do both.
I was gonna help with like I took the ability to sight, but I wanted to homebrew it. I wanted to homebrew it a little bit and
for it.
call upon my demon mommy to look
sugar mommy?
at this, my sugar mommy up in here to see if the ritual is actually getting built correctly.
You call upon your sugar mommy, and
My
in your
sugar mommy.
mind, she appears only to you, not in your mind. She seems like physically in front of you, standing again 8 feet tall, imposing, that long black hair and that bright red skin, almost as if she spent way too much time out in the sun, but in almost a most enticing way. And she just goes, "You rang. I hope you have something good for me."
It's like, well, do like there's kind of like an animals over here. You can take an animal soul, right? But also, I need another favor. Can you like look at a ritual and make sure that like that's going correctly?
You want me to take an animal's soul?
Animals
What
is
makes this
life
animal so
too.
special?
It's like animals.
But what
It's
makes this
like
one so special?
this
I don't care about
is.
a dog.
I don't. But that wasn't in the deal. It was just you wanted souls, and that's a soul right there. I'll get you more later, but this one's just to cover at least this one, this rich wolf right here.
She looks over at it and she goes, "You've got a sigil misspelled." She points to it and she goes, "You need to straighten that line or else it's not going to summon Jack.
Thanks.
And this better be
But,
delicious or else I'm coming back."
okay. Thanks.
So yeah, she kind of points to the sigil that needs to be fixed, and you now have that information and can give that to Howie to fix it and make it better.
Yeah, I will help out. Be like, fix that. Fix that
What?
market. That one's crooked.
Oh, you're the best. Okay. Fixes it.
Expert
Alright.
rituals over here.
Roll plus weird.
+4. I get a
Four.
+7. That's a total of a 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say you literally can't fail
Yeah.
with a +7, but a 14 means so. The way this looks, Howie, do you stand in the center of the circle when this happens?
I assume I'm like kneeling in the middle of it,
Okay.
like
So
saying weird shit.
You kneel. You're saying weird shit. You're kind of moving your hands, and you kind of clap them together. And the fire from these little tea lights seems to erupt up, creating an archway over you. And then above you, it kind of, or in front of you, it lowers. It kind of comes right down in front of you in this wall of fire. And in front of you, you see a creature, and it turns its two heads, staring at you before letting out. Is it not working? God damn it. I have a sound for it, and it's not working.
It's muted, I think.
Oh, that's why. Well, let's not do that then. Give me 1 second. This is gonna be good. Swear to God, tech issues.
Yep, I am so excited. This image of like the
as it growls and screeches from both heads, and you are face to face with a creature that it seems almost split down the middle between a coyote and a lynx. Two animals that are native to this land. The cat dog, as you guys keep calling it. And it bears both sets of teeth.
Hi.
I've dropped my orange. JFK is eating it, just for the record.
Yeah,
JFK occasionally looks up but goes right back to the orange and just occasionally is like keeping an eye on things but not doing anything and is really not scared. Seems very comforted by the fact that Chloe is right there. With a 14, this creature, it snarls at you and starts talking in a way that only you can hear. And it just goes, "Where am I? What is this?"
In the camp where we do crafts. Are you killing people?
It kind of leans back in a more, aggressive stance, baring teeth, and it just goes, "I eat. I eat. I hunt," and the two heads are talking simultaneously. Unfortunately, I only have one set of vocal folds, so I can only talk one voice at a time. But it's like I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Uh, we can get you food, but have you been eating people for years?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I've only been alive a few months. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Who made you come alive?
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 Well, if you've only been around a couple months.
It seems perplexed by the concept of life versus death. That's what it's getting fixated on for a second. But it looks at you and it goes, I come from where we all come from. You look yummy.
And now he's the only one that can.
Yummy.
It bears
Please
its
don't
teeth.
eat me. Can we be friends?
Um, I'm not friends with food.
Friends are not food.
I would like to use my new move, which is often overlooked, where I want to avoid being eaten. So I'm trying to avoid something so I can roll plus weird. So I don't taste very good because I've had too much fluoride in my water.
All right, roll plus weird.
Thank God. That is an 11.
Cool. So with an
I'm rolling
11,
rocks tonight.
yeah, you're doing great. It's gonna fall apart at some point. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it'll be great. I can't wait.
I love you, but hopefully, a
Yeah,
little bit of chaos.
for the drama.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks at you and goes, okay.
Okay.
Go
And it
eat a
turns-
goat.
It turns
Not that
and looks
one.
at
A big
any
one.
other person. It looks who would be closest.
Oh, RJ's for sure.
It looks at RJ and lunges to try and attack RJ.
Can I big whammy?
Ooh.
Can
Go ahead.
Can I?
Oh, it's
Okay.
yeah,
What?
yeah, big one.
Let
Go ahead.
Beth
Go.
roll.
Really scared. Big whammy.
Big
What's that?
whammy.
Weird. Okay.
Weird.
10.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Big Whammy a move or is it just you kicking some ass?
It's a move that lets her
Oh, there
use
it is.
weird to kick
You're
ass.
good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yes.
I was just making sure of it. Yeah, so on a 10, what are you using for this Big Whammy? Like, what does this whammy look like?
It's just magic.
Yeah, that's fine. Tell me what you
Just
do.
like,
You
just
like
to push him
do
away.
Naruto thing.
Kamehameha.
Yeah, little anime, little like Dragon Ball Z
Hell yeah.
of like for
Hell yeah.
3,000 episodes.
Not my friends.
And you hit it as it's about to try and as both heads try and bite RJ, pushing it back. How much harm do you do?
The attack has 2 harm, close, obvious, ignore armor.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So you do 2 harm.
Okay.
I know it's not super close. I'm going to say it's close enough. But it was dead obvious. So everybody saw this kind of, ephemeral, glowing orb kind of shoot out of your hands and hit it right in the face and push it away from RJ. It then looks up and looks over at you, Melody, and it kind of rolls itself up.
Bethany.
And sorry, Bethany. Swear to God. And it's going to try and run at you. Is anybody going to be doing anything else while it tries to make an attack at her?
I would like to use unholy strength to pin down that beast. Ellis.
Well,
Unless
I
it's
also have
obvious.
telepathy. I was gonna try to talk to the monster itself.
You had telepathy and you were letting people do magic, like special magic, to talk
I
to
love
them?
this. That's perfect.
That's so funny.
That's perfect. That's
Also,
perfect.
I feel like it's very in character, honestly.
very-
It's very in character, but I love that I didn't even realize
Yeah.
it. I was like, great, cool.
I didn't think about
Amazing.
that.
That's perfect.
I also
Oh,
would like,
wow.
after everyone else is sort of dealing with it, to try like taking a moment to like manipulate the like ring around me to banish it. If I can summon with the ring,
Oh.
if I can manipulate it, I might be able to banish it. I'd like to try.
So it's gonna start trying to charge charge at Bethany. And I heard Amani say that she wants
Yes.
to.
Unholy string. I'm gonna
Unholy
pin it
string.
and hold it at. Yeah.
Okay, roll.
it down.
Roll plus
I
tough.
am very stupidly going to like try and like put myself in the way so that it would get me before it gets Bethany.
Since I unholy strength, I get to use weird. Yay.
Okay, it's weird, not yeah.
Yeah, for since it's unholy, I can't
Yeah.
read my dice. What does this number say? That is. Oh, that's perfect. That's a 12, and then plus 3, 15.
You kind of launch. Tell me what this looks like.
Probably her. She just empowers the strength of the demon. Her hands will probably start to become that like bright red.
You also
Black
notice your
fingertips.
fingers start to elongate and become
Yeah.
a little bit more skeletal, and yet at the same time they're meaty.
Yes. Yeah. And then she just red eyes and zooms in to pin it down. Like WWE, whop on down.
It is down. It is going to.
My hero.
It is going to swipe at you when this happens. So it swipes at you and catches you in the shoulder for 1 harm.
Question.
Yes.
Does my jumping in the way of Bethany count as me charging into immediate danger without hedging my bets?
Sure.
Okay, great. I would like to use my, I get to hold 2, and I would like to use one of those 2 to reduce someone's harm suffered by 1. So I think I just like start screaming.
You start screaming, and as it's about to try and like slash at Amani's shoulder, the sound actually kind of ripples through its head and distracts the 2 heads. So it looks like the lynx side, the cat side, kind of turns and starts like hissing at you, while the coyote side actively starts howling. And they get distracted enough not to swipe at Imani.
Are you okay? Howie, shut it down!
I would love to try and. Okay, no, Howie first.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
You haven't done anything yet, really.
Do it.
I just want to.
Do it.
I just want to smash this thing with my drumsticks.
Do it.
as
Do
hard as possible.
Roll kicks
Come
and
in with
ass.
the folding chair.
Yeah, so I have a +2 to tough.
We've already got one person WWE like back slamming it. WWE hit it with some drumsticks.
Drumsticks. Do it.
And it is not guaranteed I can get rid of it. So
Yeah, true. So as they're distracted and I see the coyote side start to howl, RJ runs up and with like a technique that you would be familiar with in the 2000s with the Born Identity and whatnot.
yeah,
He uses like arnis, a Filipino fighting style with the 2 sticks, and he does like a double hit against its head. I rolled a 10. Which is great.
Yes, it is.
The sticks glow ever so slightly.
It's like a
there are
rave.
there are these like markings that are unfamiliar to might be unfamiliar to you, but to RJ, he knows that that's Baybayin, so it's like an ancient Tagalog script, so a dialect in the Philippines or a language in the Philippines, excuse me. So I do 2 harm hand magic, but
What
I
are
also,
you going to take
because I
as
rolled
your
a 10.
extra effect? Yeah, so a 10 is essentially a critical success, so you get a choice of effects. What would you like to add?
Amazing. So the effect here would be inflict terrible harm.
Great.
So that would be 3. Plus I took ancient fighting arts, so that would be 4. Plus I took precise strike, so on a 10 I get +2 harm, so that's a 6. And I also, if it was my prey, I would have gotten a +1, but
It is not your prey.
I don't-
But
Okay.
I have a quick question for you. How would you like to do this?
I would.
How would you like to almost entirely one-hit KO this thing?
Amazing.
I say almost because I know Bethany got a punch at it, but close, like,
I think
goddamn.
that was the setup. I think RJ would have come in. That this thing tried to attack Mani, and he would double hit it, not hard enough, but just kind of so that their both heads are kind of dazed, and he would try and grapple it, and he would look to Mani and say, "Now."
This should. I try to figure out like, is it like the soul thing, or do you want to kill it off
Mhm.
thing? Yep. So
Kill it for this whole thing. So he
yeah,
would try and set
yeah,
up Mani to do it.
¿Por qué no
essentially.
lo
Yep.
sos?
yep. So she will like hold it tightly, like trying to do like the arm back thing, and just I don't know how I don't want to be too gory, but just snap.
Great.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
The strength is there. Boom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Bethany's not watching.
That's
fair.
like,
So you guys
Very fair.
swiftly dispatch this creature, and RJ, in your grip, it just kind of slumps. The two heads kind of lolling to either side, and there's no real like initiative or combat in this game, but you guys are out of combat. Yeah, that's it.
Is
Are
everyone
the candles still like
Oh no, that's
burning
dissipated.
more?
So it's not like
Okay.
so that kind of let it appear, and then it
It became-
dissipated,
yeah.
and then
Okay.
like the thing appeared. So those have kind of gone down to their standard little tea light flames. One of them probably has been knocked over in the fight, and has been snuffed out by being upside down on the ground, not enough oxygen.
Scientifically, that would extinguish the flame. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's why I went with that, and not like suddenly a tea light made the entire place catch on fire.
That was awesome.
Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't tell us you could do cool stuff
Okay.
too.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I mean,
amazing.
yeah,
Everybody.
Howie, you can also do cool stuff too. And RJ, you can also do some cool stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my
everybody's
friends are
cool.
so cool.
Okay, but I actually did talk to it. It's not our monster. It's just a monster. There's something else.
That's not.
Is it dead?
What?
We'll get
Yeah.
see. I was like, we
Yeah.
can see in a moment. I was like, Imani will summon Sugar Mommy again.
You take a moment, you close your eyes, and behind your eyelids, your eyes glow red, and Sugar Mommy appears, and she looks at you and sees at your heart, right at your heart level, there's this little. It's not quite as bright as other souls that you've seen, but you see kind of a soul split in half, and like two souls split in half that are kind of merged together, and their overall light is a bit dimmed. But she looks at you and she goes, I know I don't like dogs, but this is a weird one. I'll take it. Good
Here
job.
to please. Thanks.
Just know that this half-baked solution of yours won't last for long.
I was like, well, we'll see about that. Just to herself. She doesn't want the smoke from Sugar Mommy.
And she kind of pulls the soul from your heart and lets it swirl in her hand, and you see this kind of vision of the creature howling and hissing at the air, and then eventually kind of calming and looking at her through the smoke. It's almost like a small little figurine in her hand, and it just kind of sits there and stares at her, and she closes her hand around it, crushes it, and inhales the smoke that establishes, and you see this kind of dark, powdery light, like a kind of silvery dust light, come through her body as it kind of invigorates herself. And you see that her fingernails have become a little bit sharper, almost like claws. And she looks at you and she says, I'll see you again soon. And she disappears.
Question: are Imani's hands still changed a little?
Yeah. So Imani's hands, in the moment, they kind of, it's almost like she got an instant sunburn in that moment, but it's faded now. And her hands, if you looked at them and you knew them well enough, you would know that they were different. They look almost aged, yet the skin is still supple like it would be for a child or for a teenager. It's just that the knuckles are knobbier. It looks almost arthritic. Imani doesn't have arthritis in the hands, but it's that kind of, bulky bit around the joints that you see that only really comes from getting older.
So, like, Howie, you just figured that out, right? Like, that was from the book, yeah?
What, the circle?
The magic stuff. Like, the fact you can do that, that's just been... You researched it, right?
Yeah, it's newish.
Okay. And Bethany, like, you've been here the whole time.
Hi, Tabitha.
Hi, Tabitha.
Hi, Tabitha.
Yeah, she's around.
Tabitha had been standing outside, kind of keeping watch, because she assumed that was her job again. And she pokes her head through the barricade, and she signs to you, Bethany, and goes, "You realize that the door opens out the way, right?"
We don't need to tell anybody else that.
And she
Guess
just
what?
kind of puts her
Guess
thumb
what?
up.
Huh?
The door was never mind. Nothing. It's
You
not
guys
important now.
unbarricade the space and start heading back, and do realize that the door opens outwards, so it opens not to the inside of the building, but out the way. So had this thing gotten past you, it would have just barreled through the door and been free.
Oops.
Jay,
But
that
it
was
didn't.
cool stuff from your mom, right?
What stuff?
Like the glowy stuff. That was like stuff that you learned from your mom, right?
At this point, she would know about it. You would have told her about the Haven. You would have you all would have figured out more and more about this. How much you would have told them about your mother is
Oh, sorry.
up to you.
I forgot what my character knew in versus out of character for a second there.
I think even if Chloe asked that in character, I think RJ would have said, yeah, I guess so.
And Amani, did you just like... I don't think you can get that strong from just working out.
Yeah.
Are you like a black belt now?
Yeah.
I need to interview all of you for my scene.
You all head back to the you all head back to your
Chloe.
cabin and start getting ready for yet another day of camp, because you have to. Looks like RJ's got a question or something to say. Go ahead.
RJ would have taken the body and brought it into the
Just got in
Haven,
the crafts cabin.
and maybe cleaned a bit just to kind of,
We'll all
it's
clean.
messy
Whoa.
sometimes.
We
Sure,
got
you don't
that
want
magic
to
grease on
leave
that
some
finger
like
paint.
you don't want to
There's
leave some kind of
demonic
satanic like summoning circle
Yeah,
drawn
I
in what
assumed
looks
we'd
like
leave
blood.
that.
We can
yeah.
leave the circle. It's just
Yeah,
arts and
that's
crafts.
fine.
It's an arts and crafts project.
Put a rug over it.
Yeah, actually.
This week we're gonna latch hook.
Yeah. And then putting a pin in this, I want to find Jordan in town when we have free time, because I need help from someone local in figuring out what this real monster is and not the weird cat dog.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The exploding bear.
I'd love that.
The exploding
Yeah. I think there's like a few points of investigation or things that we can all do, because we got to start narrowing down.
So you guys it's like a Wednesday night. Come Saturday, you guys will have time. You guys could basically get like 2 days off every other week, basically, or a day off every other week to go and do other things. So this is going to be your first day off since working. You guys have all earned a little bit of money. Most of your pay goes to housing and feeding you all, despite the fact that you are also children, and it seems like poor labor, like really shitty labor laws, but whatever. So you guys each get about a total for 2 weeks worth of work. You get about $50 each.
That's rad.
Wow, that's like $1 million.
Yeah.
$50
You could
in
buy
that time frame,
Nintendo.
it absolutely is like $1 million. Um, but it's absolutely not enough for 2 weeks worth of 24/7 work.
Oh, yeah.
No, but we have no concept of our value in the market.
Nope. I mean, maybe Chloe does because she's been working herself and she's like, $50 for 2
Chloe
weeks,
also
Jesus
is
Christ.
like, I would do this without getting paid.
Fair.
So
I know.
So a few days later, before you guys get into town, the couple days following the attack, you do have some Bethany. You get a couple kids that are, why are things all messed up in the arts and crafts cabin? I heard some other kids being like, I heard a lot of weird stuff last night as they describe like howling and hissing and bangs and crashes and screaming.
Me. I was doing it.
Or
They
it could have
all
been
know
an
that
alien.
you're weird enough that they fully believe that.
One man show.
And during this time too, Chloe, is there anything that you would like to be doing with JFK?
I think I do feeling some jealousy towards her friends. She's like, my friends are so cool and they can all do magic. JFK, can you help me practice?
JFK looks at you, and in your head you hear, there's something beautiful about being normal. Something about being so average that could be anything. Why would you want to do magic?
Well, because, like, I couldn't help much with the monster thing, and also magic is cool.
You can try. I don't.
Well, we're
smell
doing
it in
magic
you, but
right
we can
now,
try.
right?
No?
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 Oh, I can just talk, but. Okay,
I
well,
like
like,
you.
kind
I
of.
like you, so I figured I'd talk with you too.
Oh, thanks. Well, we're just like sitting in the barn. It is my stall mucking day, I think, is what this is.
And JFK is just kind of like bouncing around, and she's just kind of like, the other goats are just not as interesting. They don't really talk much.
Oh, so like if one of the other Kennedys took a liking to like one of the kids, could they? You don't think they'd talk to that kid?
They only speak goat.
Oh, you said you don't speak goat.
I do speak goat, but I had to
you
learn it.
figured it out.
Mhm.
Okay. And right now we're speaking human? English. There's lots of humans.
We're speaking people.
You're really smart.
I'm aware.
I think I found the coolest goat friend ever.
Thank you.
So, like, magic.
Okay. If that's something you really want to work on, we can. We'll figure something out. I'm sure. Okay. Before we go into town, is there? Rosie's like, I want to get more out of this. Why the fuck are you doing this?
No, this is what I want. Are you kidding me?
So you guys are planning on heading into town. I'm assuming we need to get a lot of Q-tips. We need to get some more groceries, get some more stuff. Howie needs to talk to Jordan. So when Juicy gets back, we'll do that. Do we want to take a quick break while Juicy's off?
Sure.
All right, give
Yeah,
me
sounds
1
good.
second. So yeah, we're just gonna take a very quick break. Everybody can grab drinks, go to the bathroom, stuff like that, and we'll be back shortly.
See you in a bit, chat.
All right, welcome back. Thank you all for waiting. We all just needed a quick breather. Um, People also started scheming and helped us all get our heads on screwed on straight with it all. Um, so yeah, the current plan. You guys tell me what your plans are. Who's going where? Who's doing what? What's the game plan here?
So I'm going to go into town and seek out Jordan to get help doing research on the history of the disappearances to get as much information as possible about what the monster we're seeking really is and maybe like identify it as best we can.
Gotcha. What's Bethany doing?
Bethany is going to be super sleuthy in Dark Debbie's office.
And what is Chloe doing?
I am going to try to get in on the college kid counselors hangouts. We haven't really been able to ask them a ton of questions about Dark Debbie, all the stuff that's going on yet. So be a weird 17-year-old trying to hang out with the college kids.
Okay. What's RJ doing?
To the mountains. I think we're gonna try and triangulate where all of these things are coming from.
Gotcha. And then where's Imani headed?
To the mountains also.
Yep, because we
Hell
don't
yeah.
go into the woods alone because that's
Yes.
stupid.
Too bad.
We discussed, I asked very nicely for some walkie-talkies because I was like, how would Chloe know where to go if somebody's injured? Do we send a 10-year-old alone with no one with them back to find her? Yes. But also she has a walkie-talkie. Bethany and our mountains duo have the other two. So Chloe, Bethany, and our mountain duo all have a walkie-talkie.
Only person who doesn't is Howie because town is too far away for the walkie-talkies to reach.
And it's fine. I'm sure it's totally safe.
Totally.
And definitely okay.
You're not going alone. Jordan is there. Jordan's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you're a little nervous, Howie. Maybe this will help. And RJ hands you like a bag of cookies. I think your favorite kind.
Oatmeal raisin?
Oatmeal raisin. Just
Thanks.
Share.
Why does he like oatmeal raisin? Of all the cookies.
That's Howie.
Voice in the sky.
It might also be juicy. But
Voice in the sky screams a
oatmeal
little
raisin.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay, to each
English
their own.
breakfast tea.
It's like
I'm an oatmeal chocolate chunk fan, but you know.
Then,
whatever.
Then Amani's gonna give Howie her keys. It's like, now don't catch it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna actually start with the duo going up the mountain. So, RJ and Amani are heading. Trying to think which way would go best. We've got 4 groups. Why don't you guys all pick a number? We got 4 groups. Pick a 1 through 4. I'm gonna roll a d4 to see who goes first. Because I can't decide. I see 1, 2, 3.
4. Got it.
4. Got it. Too many dice and not enough d4s.
We got there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bethany, you're up first, my friend. So
I rolled it as well. I rolled a 1 and then I went 1.
Beautiful.
So it's fate.
So it is fate. It is fate. So you're gonna go keep an eye on Dark Debbie. What are you gonna do to keep an eye on her? What's your goal here? What's this looking like?
I want to learn her patterns, and I want to just like really. I'm thinking I want to. She's just too weird. I've got to figure out that scent. Like, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna. What is she?
Debbie has been spending a lot of time indoors. She's been staying a lot in the admin office. You'd remember from last year that this is not really in character for her. She typically would be more out in public and with the kids. She does periodically kind of show up, and she watches from afar and then kind of goes back inside. Um, and so if you go upstairs, you would have to kind of talk with her.
Okay. Oh, if there was a way to lure her out of the office, I can go in.
Why don't you roll plus sharp?
Okay.
This is read a bad situation.
Okay. Nine.
Okay. So on a 9, you can ask, what's your best way in? What's my best way out? Dangers? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to you? And what's what's the best way to protect the victims? You can ask one of those.
How do I get in?
So getting in.
Best
So
way
you're
in?
trying to get in without her there, is that right?
Yes.
So you trying to think, what would be the best way to get her out of the office?
I have a lighter. I can set a fire.
Oh my god, you're not wrong.
Please let me set a fire.
Where would you set a fire? Where would you set a fire?
Very safely in a trash can. Just like a metal can, a little bit of. I just
Can I
need
make a
something to set off a
suggestion?
sprinkler.
Can I
Yes,
make a
make a
suggestion?
suggestion.
Janice's office definitely has a trash can that definitely has cigarette butts in it.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So you wait around. Janice eventually gets up from her desk and goes to the bathroom, leaving her office unattended.
Okay.
Are you gonna go set a fire in Janice's office?
I'm sure as fuck gonna try.
I'm trying
Okay.
to decide. I now have to decide if this place is sophisticated enough for the 1980s/90s to have a decent fire system.
Lex, you
And
have
I
to
don't
remember
think
this
they
was
do.
built decades ago.
I am
Yeah.
aware, and you are right. I don't think it does. I don't think it has a sprinkler system.
Okay.
It's probably just a bucket with water in the corner.
Yeah, it's probably just like, yeah, and I bet you anything
Sand.
the fire extinguishers are all expired, so if you use them, they're just like a
Totally. Yeah.
yeah. So you set this fire. There
I
is
just
a
wanted
small
something fancy.
yeah. So you set this fire and you leave. Janice comes back from the bathroom. She sits down and she sees this fire and she just goes, fuck, fuck. And she kind of rushes out, tries to use a fire extinguisher, realizes that it's not working, and goes upstairs, her knees kind of cracking with every step up the stairs. I say that from my own experience of having bad knees. And she just goes, Debbie, there's a fire. And you just hear, and?
Well, that's not normal.
And after some coaxing, Janice is able to get Debbie downstairs to deal with it. And Debbie seems to be fairly like perplexed as to why this is a big issue. And you're able to sneak upstairs. And you've got some time. You know that you won't have forever. You'll have maybe about 10 minutes to figure this out. But why don't you roll investigate a mystery? Roll plus sharp.
I'm gonna tune in, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, so I can roll weird
Go for it.
instead. All right. Huh. Go figure. 14.
Oh, of course. Of course. You have three. You've got three questions. You've got multiple questions. You can ask three of them. Where
Okay.
is the creature right now? What is it planning to do right now? Who is it going to attack next? Who does it regard as the biggest threat? And how can I attract its attention? And I'm assuming, so the way I'm viewing it, and you can say if this is not accurate, you have supposed that something about this scent that was on the bed, this moist, damp, kind of a weird thing, is from this creature. So you kind of like put your hand on it to tune into its essence. and that's how you are kind of keying into this creature.
Okay.
You can tell me if that's not accurate. That's how I would imagine you'd do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of wafting a little and then just kind of like feeling
Yeah,
the
and you get
bed
that.
and
It's almost like that feeling of like sheets that you hung out to dry, and there was like just too much humidity that it dried, but not fully, and you're just like it just perpetually feels moist.
just not natural.
Yeah, and it's not like
Okay.
if we're in a landlocked state. Yes, there is a lake right there, so it's not humid, but it is not humid enough for this. It is definitely hot enough to dry things.
Ah.
So,
Oh.
what are your 3 questions that you would like to ask?
Okay. What is it planning to do right now?
So, what is it planning to do? You key into it and you kind of think to it, and it all you what you're getting is at first you get service level, which is you got to deal with this goddamn fire.
Yeah. I know about the fire.
And as you dig deeper, you realize that it's trying to collect data. It's collecting information, observations, and just general vibes from people, to put it simply. It is sussing out, kind of, it's categorizing people, and you don't quite know what that category is, but you're just going, it's sorting people in some way, and it's watching us to do it.
That is fascinating.
What's your next question?
Ooh. Who does it regard as its biggest threat?
Who did? So this thing doesn't regard any of you or anybody here as its biggest threat. You get this feeling that its biggest threat is almost like another one of its own beings. And it's just like
Oh.
if that thing wasn't around, I'd have so much more control over stuff. I'd be able to do more. Um, I'd be freer. It doesn't regard any of you or any human as a threat or any creature in the area that you can recognize as a threat.
Huh.
You just get this kind of overimposing, almost like supervisory feeling as it thinks about its biggest threat. You don't quite see what this thing is, but
Okay.
you get this like looming feeling.
Yeah. Like something's just behind me
Yeah,
and breathing on me.
yeah. And
Ugh.
you get a feeling that it's
Okay.
like something similar to what this creature actually is. So you're like, oh, it's either the same or a very similar creature to it that is a bigger
Okay.
threat to it, that it perceives as a bigger threat to it.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Who is it going to attack next?
Who is it going to attack next? So you're thinking about Debbie. You're thinking about Dark Debbie. I'm trying to think if it's going to attack somebody, who would it attack next? And you see on in your mind and in its mind an image of RJ. But at first
Er,
you see RJ now in your mind, and then you see it shift to a younger version of him and then morph back to an older version of him, that's the one that he is today. And you have a feeling that it has seen him before, and it is looking at him.
Oh, I've got to. I've got to warn him. Wait, I've seen it before.
You, as you continue to ponder these thoughts, you leave with enough time before Debbie gets upstairs and you are unseen. Um, let's see, who is next? 4. That brings us to the mountain. So, Monty and RJ, you guys are hiking up the mountain, and with Howie's map in mind, you've been hiking for a little while, and you start approaching kind of the periphery of where the attacks were originating. And so, there would be some little attacks, really old ones, closer to where you are now, but the vast majority of them would be much farther up the path. Is What are you guys looking for? What are you guys doing?
Uh, I think we're just trying to get information on how the attacks relate to one another, and if we can get more information on what caused it.
Okay.
RJ in particular is looking for, and he would have shared this information at one point or another. But the thing that killed his mom um, was a bear with octopus tentacles bursting out of it.
Mhm.
Um, he, he would have shared that this feels like the cat dog, but it's totally different. And so he's just trying to like hone in on whether these attacks were caused by this thing, and if you can figure out where they're coming from, essentially,
So
you can
I'm gonna
get
have
him
you
a cave.
investigate a
Whatever.
mystery, but I'm gonna pose you some alternative things to like
Ask.
ask essentially, just because
Sure.
there's no like nature check or anything like that like there would be in D&D 5e.
Totally.
So let's see what you get. So roll plus sharp for that. Imani, are you just along for the ride, or is there anything you'd like to do?
I think money is just along for the ride, but like also like looking around for like tracks or any
Do you want to
pathways or anything like that.
roll to help out?
Yeah.
So roll plus cool.
Sharp.
That is a
Cool.
6.
Okay, so you try to help out. You can mark experience on that one. um I'll resolve that in a second, but go ahead, RJ.
I have an 11. If it's
Beautiful.
I know my prey, then I can get a +1 to that. But I'll leave that to your discretion.
May get a plus one to that. I mean, it doesn't make a difference in terms of
Amazing.
how you're gonna ask questions, because you can get two
Yeah.
questions. So
Mm-hmm.
first thing I'm gonna give you is, as you're kind of looking around, you you notice at one point, kind of far off the trail, sort of ooze. Um, you see an ooze off the trail.
Lonnie, I think I have a this way, this way, and RJ like rushes ahead, following the
Okay.
trail.
Like
Gotcha.
Amani would catch him slightly behind.
Give me a second. So you look at it, and you get a distinct look of, this is, you see like a you see a creature. It's a jackalope, where it seems like its innards have kind of exploded into this almost like Cthulhu-esque ooze that is seeping out of it. And it looks like if you were to touch it, it would just squish under any degree of weight or pressure. And it it's almost like just it's deteriorating at an incredibly rapid rate. And the ooze looks very similar to what you remember of the tentacles exploding from the bear. Not quite like an octopus tentacle, but as like an ooze-ish tentacle. Um, and you recognize it in that way as being kind of similar to the creature that attacked your mother. But it's not the same, because this doesn't look like it burst out of the. When you remember the bear attacking your mother, you remember from what you saw, and it was brief. The bear attacked your mother, and then it resolved itself and was able to walk away fine. This creature, for some reason, could not do that, as far as you can tell.
Nani, this is the one. I think it's not exactly the one, but maybe this is infecting people
Yeah,
or things.
like it looks like it's like almost looks like it's melting over and explode. It looks disgusting.
Maybe this is what's inside Debbie. If that's the case, then Bethany's in trouble. And RJ like looks to the camp and says, "Let's go ahead."
Yeah, we
Why
should
don't
go back.
you get another question as well? So that's the first thing you found on that 11. I will offer you one of the standard questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What is it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
They're all good, unfortunately.
Why
I think
I'm only really giving you one.
yeah. I think it's the what is it going to do?
What is it
Feels like
going?
I'd like to figure out, and it's kind of layered. It's like, are there more, and are they going to do this to the kids? Essentially, it's like,
So when you look at this creature on the ground, you get a feeling that this is likely not what's so this creature just looks like it's deteriorating, essentially. From what you're seeing, you can't necessarily glean what it's going to do because this doesn't look like it's doing anything. Um, you know that jackalopes are a cryptid. They're not real. To be fair, I out of game did not realize that until I was solidly 25. I am 28. I accept that as a questionable part of my life, but I fully believe that they were real for the longest time.
hmm, I should have asked what happened here. That's fine.
You can ask what happened. We can retcon it and say what happened here.
I'm curious whether or not this thing naturally has this jelly or if it was like forced onto it, essentially. So what happened here?
So what you're looking at, as you're looking at it, you get an idea that this is a. So the idea of a jackalope is you take the antlers of a deer or some other horned creature and you put it on a hare, a sort of hodgepodge creature that is alive. You get the feeling that this is a failed experiment that didn't last. And it just started deteriorating. It may have survived for a while, but it wasn't able to hold the form. This wasn't stable for it, and it started to deteriorate itself. You don't know whether or not that holds true
Mhm.
for any other creature that is related to it.
Okay, got it. The Howie's gonna want to see.
Yeah, I think I might would take a Polaroid picture of that.
Perfect.
And then as they like walk back, RJ says, "You go ahead. I think I dropped something."
Great.
And RJ will go back to the goo, and like with his drumstick, he would slowly and meticulously like squish it out of existence.
Awesome.
He
So
would
you kind of
take his
squish it into
time.
you squish it into the
Yeah.
ground and it disappears.
Oh, it like melts away.
Well, I mean, as you squish it, it's gonna mix with dirt and kind of.
I don't know
dissipate.
if I like how prepared you were to resolve what happened when he did that, Lex.
Yeah, that was very quick.
That was very quick.
All right, so let's go over to Howie. Howie makes his way into town. You are muted, my friend.
Driving the Jeep, terrified, going into town, doesn't
Your
want to
anxiety
ruin it.
is sky high. You head
Yeah.
into town, and I'm assuming you're gonna head to the library. Is that right?
First I'm gonna go to the post office, check the PO box I'm forwarding to, and send
Luckily,
out
they're all
new
the same
zines.
goddamn building. because it's a small
Ah,
town.
yes. Then yeah, I'm gonna like take care of the zine, and then I'm gonna go looking for Jordan.
So you see him kind of, if you look at the back, so you go into the library, kind of skirting around the librarian, who you're not sure if the same one's there or not, and if she would be okay with seeing you after you destroyed some of the maps. Um, but you
She
see in the
doesn't know.
back, you don't know that. You see behind in the back, like part of the library, there's like a small green area, and you see Jordan sitting underneath a tree, kind of, sitting in the shade, holding on to a annoyingly large stack of books. He's still in his like black hoodie, and it is warm. You guys have all been wearing your like shorts and t-shirts and cargo pants to stay cool and all that, and he is wearing a black sweatshirt with like black skinny jeans, and a mop. His hair is very mop-like, um, and he's sitting there reading books.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna walk up. Um. Hi.
He looks up and kind of like, me, hi, 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 hi,
Hi.
hi.
Um. I was hoping you could help me. There's a lot going on, and I think you're the only person I can talk to. And you're from the town, right? So, like, you might be able to help me find things. I don't know, but I figured if I could go to anyone, I could go to you.
I'm honored. Yeah, actually, I've been meaning. I don't know how I could reach out to you, but I've been reaching out to people who came back, people
Mm-hmm.
who like returned. So I've got some information on that too, if you care.
Yeah, absolutely. And my friends found a weird document with weird symbols. Oh, by the way, I can read minds. Thanks. That. Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and he's like, "Are you reading my mind right now?"
No, 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 I have to here, look, this crystal, there's like a hand motion. I was able to figure it out. But like
Wait,
what? What? Is there
where
something
did
on my
you
face?
get that I know. Wait, can I see that crystal for a second?
Yeah, I got this from someone at the
He looks at it and he kind of folds it up and he's like, I found this crystal at a very strange kind of site that in the woods around here. It was a just a really strange
what?
quartz that doesn't, in a place where quartz don't appear often. So I maybe I didn't
What?
explain that in
What?
the letter, but yeah, no, I thought you'd like it, or I thought whoever H
Uh,
was, and I know that that's you now, but I thought whoever H was would like it.
it's like really cool. Here, and I'll show you like and without thinking about the consequences of this action, I'm going to try reading his mind to show him it works.
Roll plus weird.
Yep. 12.
So you you read his mind, and what you get is, oh my god, this guy is so cool. I don't. How is he even talking to me? I mean, I'm literally nobody, but like
Uh
this guy.
um it works. You're kind of
Fuck.
cool too. You're kind of cool too.
And he literally like kind of like stops. His eyes go really wide, and he like his shoulder is like inch up near his ears. And he looks at you, and he's just like,
See, it works.
Do you wanna sit down and we can talk about theories?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Y- yes.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about where you found the crystal.
Well,
Uh,
it was like a year ago, and it was just somewhere in the woods. Like it was on my parents forced me to go out into nature and
Do you
do
know where
things
on the map it
outside.
is?
I
It might be significant. It's all connected.
He kind of thinks, he's like, maybe, and he pull if you pull out the map, he kind of points. He's like, there's a lot of red here, but like he points kind of like closer to the center of the rings of where all the
Mhm.
disappearing people are. And he's like somewhere
The
around here,
the center.
close to the center.
Uh, okay. Now maybe you can help me with this, and I'm gonna pull out like the picture with the document that had like the weird hieroglyphics on it.
He
Have you
looks
ever
at it
seen
and
these symbols before?
no, and these are very interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this. This is fascinating.
Right? Can I, above table, roll for net friends,
Yeah,
given that he is part of my network of zine people to get
yes,
help
you may.
looking up this information. Okay.
You may.
And yep, I roll plus sharp,
Yes, please.
which is an 11.
Beautiful. And net friends.
And yeah, on a 10 plus, they're available. Oh, wait, no, that's supposed to be plus charm,
I should probably have looked at it before making you roll.
which is fine. It's a
Roll plus charm.
7.
Okay, so it's a 7. They're prepared to help, but it's going to take some time, or you're to be part of it. So he looks at you and he's like, I've done some ancient script translations, very
It's
rudimentary
okay.
books
I
on
can
it.
help. I can hang
I
out with you
mean,
for a little bit and help.
well, I just figured I was like, if we can't finish it today, I can maybe take it home and work on it some more, and if you come back in a day or two, I can show you what I've got,
Or we could do it together.
or that. I mean, if you really want to
I
spend that
mean,
much time
unless
with
you
me.
don't want to. I mean, that's totally okay. You can take
No,
it.
no.
It's
I would love to help. I don't have people who get interested in this stuff with me.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before, yeah, did you want to know about the people who came back?
Y- yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I asked a couple of them like what happened, and they said they don't have a really good memory of what happened, but they do know that like they got hurt, and then they basically were only gone for a couple weeks, but would come back fine. Like one person said they like broke their leg, and they came back perfectly fine. Another person, almost died from falling off of a cliff and came back fine. Um,
Hmm.
so they basically it sounded like some of them said they saw some sort of creature that would take care of them and like heal them and then
Did they describe it?
send them back. The only description they gave me was like tentacle, and
Uh.
that was from like two or three people, or the three people I knew. They all said like tentacle. So I mean, it's
Okay.
not just like one person having a fever dream.
Yeah. Okay. So, we thought that whatever was attacking people was one creature, which we thought was a monster, and I may have summoned and spoke to it, and it wasn't the thing. So
Summoned.
probably, yeah. Uh,
That is so
cool
cool.
book.
That is so
Anyways,
cool.
maybe we're looking for a tentacle monster.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, it sounds like one of them. If there's more than one, it sounds like one of them might not be terrible. Um, it was healing
I,
people. Like
yeah,
that
you
doesn't
did
sound
say
like a
that.
monster. Um,
That's fair.
but let's work on this. And he walks away for a second. And he's like, I gotta grab some other books, and he goes and grabs books on um, ancient literature and ancient languages and
Mhm.
different things like that. And he starts getting to work on that. And that is something we can resolve later slash next session.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I just want to leave with the image of like Howie grabbing a chair and like sliding it really close and looking at the books with him. Just that little tableau.
The two of you are sitting very close, and every once in a while, Jordan's arm kind of like brushes yours. And at first, he kind of immediately pulls away his hand. And then after a while, he stops pulling away and lets that kind of innocent, slight touch sit.
And yeah, almost absent-mindedly, Howie's hand will like lean in and grab his as they're looking at this book.
He squeezes your hand. And he kind of leans, putting more pressure on you. And he just goes, I'm really glad I met you.
Yeah, same.
All right, over to Chloe Johnson.
I have a sense that some strange gay stuff is going down, JFK. I don't know.
So it is like mid-afternoon at this point. You are gonna go and talk with some of the counselors, right?
Yes. I feel like I think Chloe is aware enough of social cues to know that they don't want to hang out with a 17-year-old. But she feels that this is important enough to ignore that.
Gotcha. JFK looks at you, and in your head you hear, I think I'm gonna wait outside if that's okay. I'll keep an eye out, see if anything's happening.
Okay. Hey, if you want to.
Yeah.
You feel okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I feel like Ella was really cool, so I might be looking for Ella in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so Ella
I'm sure there are probably multiple of them hanging out together on the day off, so.
Yeah, so Ella, you see, let me pull up my NPCs. What the fuck is so much? Somebody's moving trash cans outside and it's very noisy. So, yeah, so you head into the counselor's side of the counselor's dorm on the other dormitory air building. And you see Ella kind of, laying on her stomach on her bunk, reading magazines, and there's music playing. You see that, Jacob is sitting on the bunk above her and kind of just swinging his legs as he relaxes back, and he's just like closing his eyes and relaxing there. Marcus, you saw him as you were coming in. He was heading out, and he looked like he was just glad to go on a canoe ride on his own. You don't see Audrey around right now. She kind of sticks to herself for the most part, so you can kind of suppose that she's doing her own thing. But Ella is sitting there, and she sees you come in, and she goes, "Oh, hey, what's going on?"
Hey, I was just like really bored and didn't have anything to do because it's a day off, but like all of the other junior counselors just ran off.
Oh, losers.
So no. Well, I think I'm the loser. I'm the one that they left ditched.
Nah. She like motions you over and she's like, "Sit down. I'm gonna braid your hair."
Okay. I take out that like torture device 90s comb headband.
Yeah, and she starts braiding it, just like a nice, like nothing intricate, just kind of like you look like you need some TLC. You look a little stressed. What's going on? Why do you feel like you are on your own?
Oh, it's just like, Amani and RJ went on a hike and how we went to town to see this guy named he said it was to go to the library, but like he met this guy named Jordan.
Gotcha. But and
I have no clue what Bethany's doing.
Did they not invite you?
No. It's just I didn't want to ask. It's that thing where they don't say, "Do you want to come?" They just say, "We're going to do this," and you don't want to ask.
Yeah, that's fair.
Debbie's been really mean to us. Like, why would she hire us if she didn't want us there?
Debbie?
She always that mean.
No, yeah, something's up with her this season. I don't know what's going on. She was fine, and then I'm wondering if, maybe somebody's trying to pull funding, or if something's going on with keeping the camp open. They faced something like this like years and years ago, where they had to shut down the camp for one reason or another. And
Really?
yeah, I mean, it
I
was like,
assume that like it's been here for like 40 years or something, right? So I thought it was the whole time.
so I mean, yeah, that 40 years, this 40 years, yeah, but around 40 years ago it got shut down.
Oh. So that since 1940 something that's on all of the logos is it's actually longer than
Technically, yeah, but no, it like shut down a while back, and it's kind of like, a kind of an urban legend about it being like, oh well, why did it shut down? Is it because there's a theory they kind of got rid of all of the names from back then. There's a theory that the camp used to be named after like an indigenous tribe, and the tribes, but it was really disrespectful, so they
that?
had to
Uh-huh.
close down so that it was renamed
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't rude.
My
Um,
hometown sports team, we had to rename it. It was a whole thing. Um,
I mean, I think that that's fair. If you've got a camp named after a group of people and they don't appreciate it,
yeah.
especially when you have a white lady running it,
Um, yeah,
maybe
is
don't
is
do that.
Debbie from here? Does Debbie know about this stuff?
I mean, she should. She's been here long enough, and she should know the history of the camp.
Uh-huh. But she's
Yeah,
not like from the town that
I don't.
Copperton that's
No, she's not from Copperton. I think she's from Denver.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't know. It's just I remember the director being really nice and stuff. Has anybody else been acting like super weird lately? Like I don't know. It's been a long time. People didn't remember me, and that was a lot.
You were here, what, like 9 years ago?
I remember them.
They went through meeting new campers every single summer, and there's like 40, 50 new campers every summer. Some of them came back every year, others didn't. You only met one set of these campers, and you stuck to them with like glue. It's normal
Yeah,
that you would
they're
remember
it's not
them. They have
they're
multiple iterations of this camp in their head. You have one.
yeah. It's not. I'm not gonna hold it against them. They're really cool and stuff. But
Good. But no, I understand, especially if you feel like you're not included. I saw you've been talking to your goats. You good?
it's just like a lot. Like you did checks my notes. Did Marcus tell you about the like goats on the very first night?
Oh yeah, no, no, we all heard about it.
Yeah, no,
I
I
get
was
that
the
your goat
first
has been
one
staying with you now.
there.
Oh shit, you were?
Yeah, we went and told Debbie about it, and
Huh.
like I guess she didn't tell anyone because then Marcus found it again in the morning.
You know what? I bet you that was probably it. That's probably she had to reach out to people, and it got back to whoever's funding this place. I don't know who, but whoever does all the overseeing, the big
But
overseeing that
yeah,
don't even come
yeah,
here, they must be breathing down her neck, and that's
yeah,
probably why she's acting like this.
yeah. Well, we kind of she was the littlest one, and there's something that got into that barn, and I
Yeah.
just didn't want her to be there
Well,
anymore.
they've been safe so far, and you're taking good care of her. What are
Hmm.
you calling her again?
That is an in-character laugh. She realizes how ridiculous it is. I didn't think Howie would be on board, so I was like, we should name her John F. Kennedy.
Honestly, that's amazing. I love it. Yeah. She finishes up your hair, and she goes, "You know what? Maybe you should go and, get some sun by the lake. Swim on
Okay,
your
is
own."
anybody else been like really mean and rude and stuff that I should like avoid this year or something?
Not that I can tell, apart from like the
Mm.
hormonal like 14-year-olds who are always assholes.
Yeah.
Everybody nods at that.
How often do they punch each other in the face? Because like I've had two black eyes already.
Honestly, it's never ending. I mean, when I was that age, there was literally a punch a freshman day in high school. So like,
What
yeah, that out of
kind of high
character that
school did you
literally
go
happened.
to?
out of character, that literally happened at my private high
Oh my
school
God.
in Little Rhode Island.
See, that's the problem. See, I went to public school, so we didn't have that shit.
No, I went to private high school and it was stupid. We had a punch of freshman day.
Jesus Christ. These
Yep.
freaking private school kids.
Yep. My dad is a lawyer.
Okay. Didn't get as much info. I do want to say above table, just for like narration purposes, Chloe was playing up stuff a little bit. Like maybe 50%. Trying to get that pity and stuff. Just for the record.
You go outside. We're not done.
Okay.
You go outside and JFK comes running up to you and she's like, Chloe.
Yeah,
I saw something.
What'd you see?
There
was it like exploding bear?
Something in the woods. I saw it. We gotta go.
We gotta go. I go check it out. Don't worry, JFK. I'm going to check it out. May I mark experience?
Absolutely. She starts kind of pouncing through the woods, and you realize you're going in pretty far, and you keep following her. She keeps going. No, I saw it. I can. There's something here. I can hear it. It's there. And she keeps running and running and running.
Right behind her.
She jumps at one point really far, and you take that final step, and the ground falls out beneath you, and you fall into a 15-foot hole. You can mark 1 harm.
Okay. Got it.
And you have no way of getting out from what you can see.
John?
And that's where we're going to leave tonight.
I love being in danger.
Alrighty.
Oh, golly.
Separate the party, isn't it fun?
I love it. I love it.
Great.
Don't forget, we have walkie-talkies, folks.
Help.
We don't know where you are.
Them, but you asked for them. I had made it out of game. I made a pact with myself that I wasn't going to offer them walkie-talkies unless they actually asked me for them, and they asked for them. So I said, you can have walkie-talkies.
Thank you, kind and benevolent DM who just put me in a 15-foot pit.
It's because it makes sense that you would have access to them, but I didn't want it to be like, no, let me hand you the things that can help you the most. I wanted it to be that you actually wanted them.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. All right, our final questions for the evening. Did we conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
You concluded the mystery of does Jordan like Callie?
The cat dog.
So
the cat dog mystery,
sub-mystery, but yes. That part. I would say it's still no, because the overarching mystery is still there. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Saved me from loneliness.
We did the whole fight scene in the crafts.
I feel like we saved ourselves from certain death.
We saved each other.
We did.
Power of friendship, people. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah.
Squishy animals.
The fuck?
Weird, squishy, gummy creatures, and
I just want to point out that we avoided using the term water sports to refer to canoeing and kayaking in the Dutch, and then the Lex gave us a moist bed. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't.
Brother,
Yeah. Bethany touched that.
Bethany was just all up in it.
Yeah.
So damn.
Wafting.
Bethany's like inches away from wanting to just lick it.
You listen to all the 5 seconds.
Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Yes.
I feel like a few. I feel like
a few.
Yeah.
So that is
a lot.
3 of those questions. You guys can each get 2 additional experience points. And remember, you are all leveling up before the last session, which is next week. But also, if you leveled up once or twice this session, it compounds. So you get double level up. We're just going balls to the walls because why the fuck not?
I love it.
Yay.
But yes, that is where we stand. As of right now, we've got Imani and RJ on their way back from the mountain. We have Bethany in the admin, coming out of the admin building. We have
having committed arson.
having committed minor arson. Contained arson, but
The
arson
minorest of
nonetheless.
arsons.
Yes,
Yeah.
slight arson.
I love Bethany so much.
We have
Light
Hallie
arson.
having a little mini date with a boy at the library while they try and figure out a very bizarre language through
Mhm.
symbology or some shit. And we
I
have
do
Bethany.
feel like it's aliens.
We have Bethany at the bottom of a hole.
No, you have Chloe.
Sorry. I was looking at your face too, and I don't know why I said Bethany. Sorry. We've got Chloe at the bottom of a hole after being led there by JFK, her goat.
Yeah, what's that about?
I said
Yeah,
the
let's
goat
find
was
out
the
next time.
BBEG. I
Let's
said
find out next time.
the BBEG right there.
All right.
Maybe
So,
they're the. Oh, no, no, no.
maybe they're the bad guy.
Maybe they're the bear. Shape-shifted into a goat.
All right. Ross, where can we find you?
You can find me at Blades of Mayari. Blades of Mayari. We're on Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you catch our, you get your podcasts, and you can vote for our show for best audio and sound design in a podcast at Career Awards.
Great. Melody, where can we find you?
At Melody Has Cats on socials, and usually the Game Master Monday Discord.
Taylor, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Taylor. You'll find me at Spunky Taylor on all social media and on Twitch. You can see me at Spunky Taylor Games. And if you want to see me tomorrow night, I will be over at Nerds with Dice playing Candela Astrura. Yeah, it's my first time playing that, and it's amazing cast, and we're doing it for charity. Yeah.
Awesome. Juicy.
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, part of Tabletop Tailspinners, and on All Our Faults, a Monster Hearts 2 Actual Play podcast. You can find me at Juicy Garland or at juicy.garland, whichever. You can also find me live in Boston this Saturday.
I'm gonna be seeing you there. I also live in Boston
excited.
and get to see one of my good friends in person doing their awesome thing. So I'm excited.
And you can also vote for me in the Crit Awards because I am nominated for indie performance in TTRPGs, and I'm really thankful for that. Yeah, just being nominated is an honor, and I love it. Yeah, so find me on the internet. Say hi.
Rosie.
Hi, yes, my name is Rosie. You can find me on whatever social media platform you're looking at Rosatyrs, Rosatyrs, like Rosie, and then the little goat folk, and you smush them together and you get Rosatyrs. It's great to have a goat to illustrate this now. I am a cast member on Tabletop Tailspinners, Magnificence. I'm in a couple different episodes of Game Master Monday. I'm around. I'm all over the place right now. I'm gonna be in a Candle at Obscura stream in a couple weeks as well. It's gonna be super cool on Twisted Fates on Twitch. Check that out. We've got a really cool cast for that. Also vote for Grant and Jenny in the Crit Awards too.
Yeah.
Do it.
Absolutely. And my name is Lex again. You can find me online at Lex Get Pizza. I go where I feel and I hang out with people that are cool and play games whenever I feel like it. So you'll find me around the internet. But yes, please vote for all your friends in the Crit Awards, including all of these wonderful people. If you haven't listened to Blades of Mayari and haven't gotten a chance to listen to the amazing sound engineering there, it is genuinely amazing. It's phenomenal. Literally at one point, I can't even remember what the sound was, but I turned my head thinking it was real in the real world and was very surprised that it wasn't.
We did not mention in the moment, but that incredible sound effect that we had for the cat dog was Ross's work. After Discord foiled our attempts on stream, he went back and recorded it just because we weren't planning on using it. So.
No, and let me play that one last time for us all, just so that we have an idea of what we were listening to again.
Lex getting the soundboard set up.
Yeah, don't you love it? Don't you love it that it didn't work? Swear to God.
It's actually really scary.
Yeah. It was amazing. When I heard it over Discord, I was astonished. There we go. Isn't that amazing?
It sounds like a cat dog.
Came from his mouth and he did stuff. It was cool. But yes, if you haven't listened to Blades of Mayari, please do. It's amazing. If you haven't listened to Juicy and other things, how
Yes.
they're everywhere, and they're amazing. And if you haven't interacted or listened to Grant and Jenny, how did you get here? But also hello and welcome and listen to Game Master Monday because they're both phenomenal hosts, and deserve all the love and praise that have been coming to them in fostering in creating a great podcast, but also in fostering an amazing community. So I'm
Join the
grateful
Game
to all
Master
of
Monday
you.
Discord because that
Yes.
community is incredible.
Oh yeah,
Thanks,
Yes.
Melody.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
seriously. But yes, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and let me get rid of that. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you all
I'm gonna
next week
die.
for the end